Eugenio Suarez back-to-back with Jackson the 7th. Mariners pass the A's 8-2. Novak Djokovic, Rafa Nadal, opposite sides of the draw for Wimbledon. They're 1-2 at the All-England Club. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning talking NFL, Watson and Gronk. 6:45 Eastern is Dan Graziano. 8:30 Jeff Saturday, and at 9:30 Eastern, Robert Griffin III. How about the NBA? Kyrie, free agency, the coming draft. Andre Snelling at 7:30 Eastern, and Bobby Morks at 9:10 Eastern. Thanks for staying up all night. For producer Mark Morales and technical director Jared Hughes, I'm Jim Basquil. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max is next.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Why is KD positioning stuff through the media? Does that mean that he has gone to the Nets and said, hey, I want Kyrie here?
This and more. Wednesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
Steph Curry, the default seems to be, he's made himself a top 10 player of all time. And my response is, slow down.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN Plus. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I like Peyton Manning big time. I'd probably rather catch footballs from Tom Brady.
Why?
It's a lot easier.
This and more. Wednesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
I've got muscular dystrophy. That means my muscles are weak and it can be hard to breathe.
Now is a scary time for everyone, as we are at a higher risk for respiratory infections.
In good times and bad, the Muscular Dystrophy Association helps kids live with neuromuscular disease. The pandemic places more than 200,000 adults and children with muscular dystrophy at a greater risk.
Breathing is often hard when you live with a neuromuscular disease.
But the Muscular Dystrophy Association is here to help.
MDA is what ensures they receive critical medical care at one of over 150 care centers across the U.S.
During COVID-19, kids like me are at a greater risk.
The Muscular Dystrophy Association needs your support now more than ever.
COVID-19 won't stop us. To learn how you can help, please visit helpmda.org. Thank you.
It's Cuz. Thinking about getting an engagement ring? If you're ready to pop the question, you got to go to Golden Nugget Jewelers right now. Largest selection of certified diamonds and engagement rings. Your perfect ring is at Golden Nugget Jewelers. Major financing options, unbeatable prices for name brands such as Veragio and Tacori. Online today at goldennuggetjewelry.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asked dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
High-efficiency equipment for lower bills, special financing, and rebates on qualifying systems.
What?
Oh, I'm trying to memorize something I heard on the radio. Peace of mind warranties.
Why?
Because our AC is on its last leg, and I need to convince you to call a Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning contractor.
No, you don't. I heard the same ad. And you forgot cleaner, healthier air.
Pierce Phelps Bryant will do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable. To find a local Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning dealer near you, visit nopaybryant.com.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
And we'll look forward to having you spend your entire Wednesday morning with us. If you're up early, we appreciate you being here on The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Coming to you live from One Bala Plaza, where this morning I navigated not one, not two, but 3 pieces of wildlife in the road. 2 of them were deer. What was the third that I had to actually stop my car to not hit?
Honey badger.
Kangaroo.
Honey badger.
Possum.
A fox.
Close to the possum family.
Skunk.
Orangutan.
Skunk. It was, Connor Thomas. Airport Road, right at the Airport Road intersection, had a skunk. And it was big. What do skunks eat? Like rabbits eat like, foliage, I guess, or greenery. What do skunks eat?
I think they're foragers, so they might go through the garbage like raccoons do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so, too.
This thing was big. This thing was a well-fed skunk.
I hit a bird on the way here.
Okay, what's it with the wildlife this morning?
No idea. And I
hit
almost
a
hit
bird?
another one driving into the parking lot, but it was one of those, it's in the road, it gets up to fly away, and I just saw it hit my car, and then all of a sudden I saw in the rearview mirror like it dropped.
Oh, no.
You going to clean your car now?
Wait a minute. So
evidence.
That's 2 of us this morning that had to navigate wildlife. Now, I did not hit any of it.
Yeah, I want all the other birds to recognize
that it's you're supposed to
get out the way.
What did Costanza say? We have a deal. We have an agreement with them. With the squirrels, you have the agreement. So,
Coach, no stuff.
Coach, what is it?
Yeah, so skunks, they prefer meat, but they also eat plants and vegetation. Now, some of the other things on their diet: insects, small animals, birds, eggs, berries, grubs, which are really good, and grasshoppers.
What are grubs?
Those are the little like mini bug worm thingies.
Yeah, grubs.
Look like little tiny snails.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a word. I learned a word today. I did not know about the grub. I do know this, that the average total home water use for each person in the United States is about 50 gallons a day. And a person can live about a month without food, but only a week without water. I don't know how you can live a month without food.
No, I'm very much into those shows, Life Below Zero and stuff like that. People out in Alaska in the bush that are trying to live off of the land. I don't know how you do it. Waking up every morning knowing you have to go get your food to last you for a while. That's a scary thought in my book.
One of Liv's classmates, her mom did The Amazing Race. Because The Amazing Race was and she did it with a daughter that she gave up for adoption when she was a teenager, and they had never...
Oh, well, that's why they're on the show.
And she hadn't known her.
Oh, that's cool.
She gave up the daughter for adoption. The adopted daughter found her, that was adopted by another family, but found her birth mother, and they did The Amazing Race together. And, they don't, you're responsible for, you got to feed yourself on that, too.
It's a big expense.
No, but you don't get to have, cash in your pocket and stuff like that. There's, rules. and all that kind of stuff. I could never do a Survivor. Survivor, I'd last a week eating crap out of the woods.
My mom wants to do Amazing Race.
With you?
We went to the mall when they were having open tryouts because she wanted to try out. And she promised Cheesecake Factory. So, I'll go. I'll go stand in front of
How old were you? What were you?
I was probably
high school,
17 or 18. No, I was a little older. I was probably 19 or 20. At that point, it's like, all right, well, Cheesecake Factory's on the menu.
Right, exactly.
Let's party. But I knew we had no shot.
Why would you have no shot?
Because we didn't have a story like that. We didn't have a story like because that's what they look for. They look like the one year the Phillies old third base coach, Steve something, who was actually the third base coach in 2008. He was on the show. Like, you need that angle.
So you need something.
We were just two short people that yelled at each other a lot.
I'll tell you what, that's a hook for me, man.
See, I'd
love to watch you.
But you guys know, like, you've seen me interact with her. Like, you know me. It's different when they give you 15 seconds to record and say why you want to be on the show. And truthfully, I didn't want to be on the show. I just wanted a s'more cheesecake.
Weird thing is, though, is that, and Connor, I believe this, I think Pat would be, that T-Dog would end up being America's sweetheart.
Oh, God.
And Pat would end up being America's villain.
No.
Yeah. The way you talk to your mother, the way you talk to your mother, that America would hate you.
Well, America can live with her. All right? That's what I have to say to America.
I could see Coach signing Cam up for that. Coach and Cam doing like the Amazing Race.
Cam and I might be able to do that together.
Isn't there something?
Why not?
Isn't there something on the soccer? Your voice is cracking this morning.
Yeah, it's really bad allergies.
It is?
Jamie is the one that usually has them pretty bad. Pat and I. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Jamie's on suspension.
Pat and I are usually the ones that have them, and today is a bad day.
Wow.
I may need to go into Pat's bag pharmacy.
No.
Why? Why won't you share with Coach?
How much money you got in your pocket?
Connor did not go into Pat's bag pharmacy. Connor did not have an Advil for his tooth that's hurting him and his gum that are hurting him. And I said, I would have brought some for you.
Oh, dude, I got stuff. Pain relief.
Yeah. An alternative medicine type.
No,
guy.
he'd rather walk around and complain about it than actually just take it.
1,000%.
You'd rather complain about it than take something that dulls the pain for you.
I told him yesterday to call up my dentist, and it was
he wouldn't do it.
No, I have a appointment tomorrow at 3 p.m. As if the dentist that he had an appointment for is going to call around to make sure he wasn't calling other people and cheating on them with.
Okay.
Like, come on. I was like, dude, you might be able to get seen today. No, it's fine. No, it's not. You've been bitching about it for a day.
I wonder how easy this, I don't want to call it an extraction, but I guess it kind of is. Not that they're extracting your tooth, but whatever is caught up in your gum. I wonder how easy it is.
Well, they're going to have to cut it and stitch it.
You think?
Is what I
What?
figured. Yeah.
Really? That's what I'm going into today? I thought they could just
I read about
I don't know.
Hey, wait. Yesterday afternoon in the back office, as I'm now calling the back deck, on the back office, I had to look at it. And by the way, people have gotten stuff caught up in there. People have gotten tortilla chips, things like that. They most likely have to cut your gum and then do a little butterfly stitch, a couple butterfly stitches.
That. Just leave it in.
No. What are you, nuts?
No. What?
So you would rather have this pain that you're in as opposed to one day of a stitch maybe hurting a little bit?
It'll grow over it eventually, right?
Connor,
no,
they stitch you. It takes 2 seconds. They literally know how to do a butterfly stitch, a couple of things, and then it dissolves.
I'll bet you a dentist could fly by one Ballot Plaza and take care of that in a heartbeat today.
If you're a dentist right now that could come by and get the kernel out of the mouth of Connor Thomas,
we would all greatly appreciate it. You could do it in a parking lot. We won't even make you come into our building.
I got to see some type of credentials or something.
He's been offered an Advil. I swear to you, Pat, you're right. He would rather complain about it than just get it fixed.
Then have a tooth extraction in the parking lot.
You're not having a tooth extraction.
I don't know what it is. I'm not letting somebody who just shows up to the parking lot rip my mouth open.
Now all of a sudden,
make me the crazy person?
Because now all of a sudden you have standards? Like, who the hell are you?
Yes, I have standards for dental professionals.
Dude, I am going to pray that the world of serious disease never hits you, because you will literally be in a corner sucking your thumb if this is bothering you this much. When they have to stick up.
It's bothering me, but there's an area in between letting Dirty Mike and the boys rip my gums open.
Dirty Mike and the boys?
Yeah, they hang out in Priuses.
Yeah. I thought that was the old ESPN. Wasn't that ESPN's old morning show?
No.
It's different? Yeah.
First of
down
all,
by the river.
Dylan is here this morning with us.
The D train is here.
Yeah, Dylan can do it.
Wait a minute. Why doesn't Dylan get a chance to take it out?
Try.
No.
All you have to do is pay him in York peppermint patties and he's happy.
Who would you trust the most out of all of us to go into your mouth and try to get this thing out?
If one person had to do it.
Probably John, just because he seems like he's the most surgical, like step by step.
Day by day.
Sugar
That's
rush
a
all
good
the time.
call.
His hands are going to be shaky. I don't know what Coach is doing. Bob, I don't know your background either. Yeah, no, probably John, because I just trust
I probably
him
have a
more.
pen in my hand. Wait,
Yeah,
I can get it.
I got the pen for you here. All right, Phillies last night. Why do we not get to the Phillies fast enough? Because the Phillies game was terrible last night. Gibby wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good. And Familia, I've had enough. I've reached enough. I absolutely have. And Rob Thompson, if you are the guy, if you are the smart guy, if you are the guy who supposedly has turned this thing around, then you know you've seen enough. We've seen enough. No more Familia. Familia's out. When you're here, you're Familia. No, when you're gone, you're out. Show them the door. Done. Finished. I can't watch it anymore. It's disheartening. The minute he comes into a game, I'm done.
That game just didn't have a feel last night. Now, early on, you're thinking, okay, pitcher's duel. It's nothing. Phillies have 4 hits. Texas has 2. Perez was I like watching him pitch.
Yeah, he's very nice.
Yeah. So you're wondering, can they just last or can they steal a run here? And Perez was a little wild, throwing some fastballs in the dirt and all, but they just couldn't manufacture. And that's the one thing that kind of bothers me about this team. Guy on second, nobody out. You don't have anybody that hits a ground ball to the right side to move them to third. Just manufacturing runs. They're just not very good at doing that.
No, they're not.
And I don't know about you guys, but I just had a feel that it wasn't going well last night. And then you get the back-to-backs on an absolute bullet on the first one by Lowe. And once it got to be 2-0, that just seemed
felt like it was done.
It seemed like a hockey game of it's only 2-0, but it feels like 4 or 5, 6-0.
It wasn't good last night.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't fun to watch. There's the breaking
Good summary
news
on
thing.
your part. Yeah, not fun to watch.
But this team, I look at this squad that anytime Bryce Harper is out, I go, okay, can they steal a game? Because that's the way I look at it. If he's out of the lineup, they're going to need to steal a game. They're a different team. Their offense certainly is way different. But that game was offense and Familia. Gibson gave you a chance to win. He kept it
quality start.
Yeah, he kept it at bay. He went 6 2/3 with 3 in a row. I mean, it's kind of what you want from a starting pitcher. That's what you ask for. And when the bats go silent and Familia comes in, I mean, Familia is the biggest buzzkill on this team at this point because you don't really have any better option, so you throw him in there, hoping that he can get it right, but it's gross. I'm with you. I'm done.
Castellanos, too, the last 3 weeks, leaving runners on base.
Now, he had a shot up the middle that looked like it was a base hit.
That did look like it was through.
And looked like you were going to get some runs, and it goes off the pitcher's glove, and the shortstop grabs it and goes to first. But
he had another 4 or 5 left on base last night. Just he's in a bit of a funk. But Phillies lose day game baseball today, and Connor has guaranteed a win.
Absolute lock win today.
Lock win.
No doubt in my mind.
So grab your sports betting app of choice and grab it now before the line shifts.
I feel good about that, Connor.
4:05 game this afternoon. The Rangers and the Phillies ending up the 2-game set in Texas. Join the Fanatic, by the way, and our show as we cheer on the Birds in Arizona. Reserve your spot now with a small deposit. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. Philly Sports Trips, where you can travel with the pros. It is going to be absolutely awesome. We're going to have a great time. There is one thing that sort of bothered me a bit. Now, I have an LLC. My LLC, unless I told somebody, no one would know any business that I conduct on my LLC. Unless you knew what my LLC was and how I conduct it. I was a little surprised, and then I see NFL Network talk about it. I see NFL Live talk about it, that Jalen Hurts is out there trademarking Hurts So Good. For clothing and merchandising and everything like that. I am a huge fan of capitalism. I am an absolute ambassador for getting every freaking dollar that you can from any opportunity you can to use your talents, your skills, whatever it is. But I'll tell you, this has a chance to really backfire. You've accomplished nothing, and your trademarking hurts so good. I'm just here to tell. I don't know if he didn't maybe at Oklahoma and Alabama. They didn't teach this. He doesn't have to have it be public. He could have bought this through an LLC. He could have acquired. No one would have known who trademarked Hurts So Good. But Jalen Hurts did it himself. He went on to like a $99 legal site and trademarked Hurts So Good. Are you signing up today? Pat, you seem like a guy who is cutting edge in trends. Are you going out and buying yourself some Hurts So Good merchandise?
Absolutely not.
T-shirts, hats.
Hard pass.
I'll tell you, this has a chance. This has a chance to have a really bad look to it.
It does, but am I surprised? No, he's an uber confident guy.
He is.
So if you're him, you're not looking at oh man, this could explode, horribly and go horribly wrong for me. You're looking at it like, no, I don't want to be sitting here up in my game after the offseason I had, leading this team, and then I got to see Hurts So Good merchandise, which we all know would pop up.
Oh, it's going to pop up.
The Crossing Broads of the world would definitely be selling Hurts So Good T-shirts. So he wants to nip that in the bud. I don't necessarily blame him. I probably would have done it back in college, but good on you. I think one of the first guys to do it was Brian Bosworth back in the day. He really.
What did he do? The Boz?
The Boz, yeah. He would sell Boz T-shirts, but then he was smart. He would sell anti-Boz T-shirts too because he was so hated. So he was double dipping. Yeah, it was genius.
Have you considered this?
I have, yeah.
You have considered some of the anti-Egan merchandise?
Yeah, I have anti-Egan magnets, but they haven't sold.
Because I think the positives would sell much more. I think the Egan merchandise would sell you because you've had trouble getting rid of those 4133s.
No,
you've gotten rid of them
sell
all?
like wildfire.
They kept me afloat for a good 2 years.
I've gone through 2 or 3 of them.
I've seen you though say that you still have them, like you're trying to get rid of.
That's the business model of Pat Egan. You always got to say there's more supply.
That they're running out.
You always have to have product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bob, you have any issue with Hurts So Good?
If his career takes off, all of that stuff, he did something early on that. Okay, wow, that was 5 years from now. He becomes one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's this dynamic player or something like that. Exactly. If it doesn't work, okay, then it goes to your capitalism loving and all that stuff, saying, all right, he gave it a shot. And if we were in the same position, maybe we would do the same thing.
I'm a little surprised though that he doesn't have it set up through, and I don't know what. I have a friend of mine has an LLC that is the name of a bar that was across the street from a frat house they had in college. No one needs to know track your business. Connor, in your old business, you probably saw people with LLCs and stuff like that. They name them after dogs. They name them after stuff that never traces to them. I just think this is when everybody's talking about it, this guy's thinking he's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, but I don't think if you see that Hurts So Good got trademarked, you're wondering, I wonder who did that. Why
everybody's going to know now.
Yeah, but everyone was going to know anyway. Who's selling the Jalen Hurts So Good T-shirts? Do you think that's maybe people have done this before? And what's the worst case scenario? What is the worst case to come out of this?
That he is not the quarterback of the future for this franchise.
So what do you lose?
And he crashes and burns.
Right, then someone would have found something to make fun of him for anyway.
Then it looks dumb, though.
I like it. I think he's taking a little chance on himself. Good for him.
Yeah, he's not taking a chance. I mean, it's not.
He's making an investment.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think
investments are chances.
I don't know if I'm going to be in December even remembering the fact that he owns Hurts So Good.
I didn't even know until John wrote it.
Aren't we going to see T-shirts but aren't we going to see the T-shirts and hats all over the place?
I mean,
really?
Not if he's
by who? Just by him?
Yes, that's what I mean.
But not
that's
if he's
okay.
Playing poorly.
I mean, look at how many guys you have out there now that are wearing, BC 10s or JK, 69 or whatever. There's just you see these guys with these, labels and stuff all the time. That doesn't. It's fine.
Joel Embiid. Does he have one? I don't believe he does.
I don't know
if he has something.
He does,
for
yeah.
Under
No.
Armour with a
What is
signature
that?
sneaker.
I'm pretty sure he trademarked the process.
He trademarked the process?
I think he trademarked the process. I think.
Okay, good. Check that out. Have your
search.
Research team. You got two interns.
Pack it on that.
I just got to imagine the big rental car is very upset that they slept on this one, because there's a rental car company out there that could have jumped on this a while ago and they've been sleeping, and then Jalen comes in and just swoops.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just always think of things because it's something to be mocked for.
Yeah, 2016, Joel Embiid applied for a trademark for the process.
He didn't get it, though, did he?
To be used on the apparel, including sweatpants.
Oh, but he did?
2018, he applied for a trademark for the process for backpacks as well as athletic footwear. So, I mean, it's, if a guy's a nickname and he's popular, I mean, Connor's right. Like, somebody comes along and their nickname is Avis, boom. Or like
Enterprise.
Yeah. And their like taglines like, we'll pick you up.
Is that their tagline?
Yeah, because they're a good teammate.
I'm
just spitballing.
I can tell you, coming in and out,
it's pretty good, Pat.
Coming in and out of Philly for years on visits, the Enterprise folks down at the Philadelphia International Airport, excellent. We found that to be the go-to. They were great. Always had good cars for us and everything. So, and the one on Lancaster Avenue is good, Coach. We've done that one on Lancaster Avenue. Good folks there.
Yeah, tremendous.
Right there, I guess that would be Bryn Mawr. Right down there now, down from Roach and O'Brien's.
It's not like Seinfeld where he reserves the car and then they show up and they don't have it.
No. They take the reservation, and then they hold the reservation, which is the most important part of the reservation.
Anyone can take a reservation.
Yes, exactly, willy-nilly.
I've had good luck renting cars lately. Like the last 5 times, the car that I rented was the one that was there.
Okay, that's really good. That's really
surprising,
really good.
But yeah, it's been good.
Now, this is strange, and it's not going to seem strange to you at all, knowing me. That I do not like the rental car where you rent the car and then they say take any car in the line.
Why not?
There's I just don't. I like sort of having a car picked and getting it, not having okay, we've got 5 cars there, pick one of them, because there's inevitably going to be like the purple Jeep. They're always terrible colors.
So then pick the one you like the best.
The rental car colors.
Easy.
The rental car colors are terrible. I mean, they're absolutely horrible. One question. So taking my wife down this weekend before we go away, taking her down to see Andrea Bocelli down there at the Hard Rock.
Great chef.
Okay, I don't think that's what he is. He's blind.
He was before.
Magician.
He's not a magician either.
I'm going to get there.
He's not an opera singer. He's a singer. But the Hard Rock Stadium in Atlantic City, where you see this, the arena where you see this, is it at the Hard Rock Casino or not? It was strange because I'm looking at it and I'm going, are they the same place? It's very, very. You have any idea?
I'm not sure. I don't.
Have you seen anything at this venue?
No, I haven't.
I'd imagine it's not.
Pat? No idea.
Why would you imagine it's not?
Because they had an indoor football team that played there or something. It seems like that would be too much room to put attached to a casino. Like I'd imagine it's off the main strip a little bit, but I'm not sure. I'm just
I'll
guessing.
need to know that from somebody on social media. You can share it with me. Hey, crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, wide sandy beaches. Maine's got them all. It's summertime, and the water is calling. Visit Maine.com. This message is sponsored to you by the Maine Office of Tourism. Pat, you'll be glad to know that Thomas is up early this morning, and Thomas says you would absolutely win the amazing race of this show.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. Yeah,
Pat
no
would
doubt.
win the amazing race.
I knew that jackass in the other room, Connor, would go,
be the one. Oh, I'd win.
Because Connor's a guy that, you throw any competition out there, and Connor will sit there stupidly and think that he'd have a shot at everything. You wouldn't.
You mean like when he challenged me at golf last week and lost by 9 strokes?
Exactly. Yeah. The time that he said that he would tackle Brian Westbrook and then chickened out. He would D up T.J. McConnell.
I gave him the chance
to beat a women's D1 basketball player.
Too.
Like Brian Dawkins, you gave me the chance to. I'm not
Brian Dawkins, Brian
Westbrook was there too.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't there. Westbrook wasn't there.
Where?
He was last year.
Oh, last year. Westbrook was there this year when we were at the...
Yeah, but he wouldn't tackle him.
Westbrook looked good, lost some weight.
Manners,
he would run right over your ass.
Exactly. All right, coming up, this story is finally finished. No one will be happier than Bob Cooney. And I will give my assessment of guilt or innocence. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I know that your heating and cooling bills have been outrageous. And I know that you want to improve the value of your home anytime you get the chance. I also know that money might be tight right now, but Window Nation has got the answer to every one of your questions. How about buying 2 windows and getting 2 free? That's not bad. How about making no down payment and paying no interest for 24 months? It's a great, great deal. How about an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau? That's what you get with Window Nation. Window Nation is an amazing, amazing company right now. They are absolutely with 5-star reviews just all over the web. Vinyl windows, wood windows, fiberglass windows. They've got them. Every size, every style, every color. And you can shop for windows online at windownation.com. But when you can buy 2 and get 2 free and pay nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, for 2 full years, no money down, no payments, no interest, this is the time for you to get in. Right now, check out Window Nation. Call them at 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION.
The John Kincade Show.
If you don't like it, go on the internet and complain.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Hey, kids, I'm going to Wawa. Anybody want anything? It's Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is here. So, classic meatball and classic Italian with cherry pepper relish. And a new picture frame.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
Back by popular demand, Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up again to bring you frozen handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show?
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy frozen handcrafted beverages are back and 20% off when you order and pay on the Wawa app.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Do you need a new roof but you're cringing at the thought of dealing with it because you've heard nightmare stories about contractors who won't call back, or materials that are unavailable, or costs that are doubled because of supply chain issues? Take it from me. You have to call New Look Home Design. They will help you through the process and make shopping for a new roof easy. They always do roofing the same way. Same day on-site or virtual estimates, whatever's best for you. Transparent line-by-line pricing so you know exactly what you'll be paying for, and a 3D rendering of what your new roof would look like so there's no surprises. And most roofs, they can be installed in a week. Their team is 100% professional. There's no obligation to buy, but I am confident that after you deal with them, you'll want to give them your business. Now through June 30th, when you buy a new roof, you pay half later and the other half never. Save 50% on roofing materials and qualify for interest-free financing. So call them today at 800-279-5300. That's 800-279-5300, or online at newlookhomedesign.com. That's nulookhomdesign.com, and tell them Andrew sent you.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. N72. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
New message. Hey, girlfriend, it's Carol from jury duty. We never actually spoke, but I saw you ordered the same hoagie as me at lunch. What are the chances? Anywho, I heard you just got a boat. We should totally grab some hoagies and take it out for a spin.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Do I want to feel the wind in my hair? Guilty as charged. Oh, seriously, let's ride on your boat.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Heard my little sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret guide.
Gross, no way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
wasn't impacted at all, so ha. I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made the purchase.
Taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/AutoNavigator.
It's one thing to build a truck. It's another to build a legacy. The Ford F-150. The only truck with an available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard generator. The only one with an available work surface in the front and the back. And the only one that is part of the F-Series lineup that has been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Now, you can get special incentives when you build to order a new F-150. Inventory is arriving daily, so hurry in for best selection. Get to your local Ford store today.
Hi, I'm Gina.
And I'm Todd.
And this is our TimberTech story.
We have a 200-year-old home.
When we did the wood deck, we thought this is not what we wanted at all.
I want an easier life of maintenance-free.
And then when we decided to transform it, it was a complete transformation.
We chose TimberTech because of the maintenance-free aspect of the product and the real look of wood.
It's a forever home and a forever deck.
Order your free samples at timbertech.com.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
This crew always says thanks for listening, and we actually mean it. The John Kincade Show continues here on 97.5 The Fanatic and streaming on the 97.5 The Fanatic app.
97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
If you got problems with your building's water and wastewater pump system, I would suggest that you contact pumpmanphilly.com. Pump! That's sort of a kernel stuck in your gums, Pumpman.
Somebody's got to come and get that out.
Pumpman Philly, the guys to know to fix your flow. Dylan McKinnon has his dental license.
That's good enough for me. Dylan, get on it.
I don't believe that.
I've seen the document.
Yeah, it's like when you apply online to be a priest or something. I'm out on that.
You can't be a priest. You can be a minister.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, they don't. They're not just letting you do that.
You got that.
He's not marrying you. He's just pulling out a kernel from your gum.
So I was. Thank you for letting me. At least showing faith in me that I would be the one. It said here. So one of our listeners says Pat would definitely win the Amazing Race. He thinks Pat would be the craftiest. And he thinks that I would be in the mix, but I would overthink it. And the person who acts like me in the Amazing Race always loses. He's watched every single one of these. He says Coach would finish second in the Amazing Race if this show did one. He said Connor would tell everybody he was going to win. He goes, there's a Connor in every season who is the guy who tells everyone they're going to win. They usually fall out around halfway through. Bob wouldn't care enough to win.
No, you don't know my competitive nature.
I
then,
do
whoever
know that.
Not you, this guy.
Him, yeah.
You have to have the good balance because my brother-in-law and I years back talked about doing this, and I would be the physical guy that would get you to the spot you needed to go and all that, and he would be the smart guy that would think everything out. I think you need that kind of a balance
combo.
Yeah, you do. You need obviously the guy has to keep up with the leader physically, but you need that lead dog physically to get you there, and then the smarts to get you there also.
Well, here's what drives me nuts about Connor. We go out there during the break, and he goes,
"Me and Coach."
something to the effect of like, "Yeah, I don't even really know what they do in the Amazing Race," but he's already proclaimed that he can win it. He has no idea what it takes.
I imagine it's a race with tasks.
No, it is, but it's not that. It's not that it's that physically grueling, but it's like a mental grind.
Yeah, there's an element of physicality.
Like you have days where you're up for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Where you have to do that. And keep, they do mental.
Yeah, you need a speed aspect of it because you're trying to beat somebody
and
to a
figure
spot.
People out.
Yeah.
But Coach, you were picked as the second to Pat. And this guy has watched every Amazing Race season. He says that the guy who is like Coach will lay in the weeds.
I agree with that. And I was just saying to Bob off the air here that I'm pointing at him saying that he and I think, would make a good team for that. Because you're right. I would lay in the weeds. I would come up with a plan, and Bob would get us there.
And
We'd
Bob would
execute it.
Yeah. Good work.
Yeah. Let's do it, Coach.
I don't think they're going to let you, but who knows? Hey, finally, the Deshaun Watson story is close to being finished. He settles lawsuits with 20 of 24 of his accusers, who, and reportedly some of the accusers asking for less than $10. But nothing is published as far as what he had to settle. Because he needs to have these things settled before the NFL is going to let him back on the field. He's got 4 that are still outstanding against him. So let me just give you a ruling. He's guilty. He's guilty. He is guilty of not defending his innocence and just settling things to go away because much like Bill Cosby, I guess, Deshaun Watson just has been targeted by all of these random people who, by the way, they identified that of his 24 accusers on these things, 22 of them had no social media trail, had no contact with each other, ever knew each other. So this isn't a grand conspiracy to get him, which he tried to set up. He's guilty of attempting to besmirch his accusers, claiming that, all they're doing is just trying to get money out of me. He's guilty of saying he wasn't going to need to settle anything and that he would prove his innocence. So there's enough guilt to go around. He's freaking guilty. And the Cleveland Browns, God, man, look what you bought. Look what you bought.
You know, you hate to say it about any organization, but if there's an organization in the NFL, Sans, is that how we say it, Pat? Sans? I always said Sans. But Sans, maybe Jacksonville, or, I don't know, pick another decrepit organization.
That can take this shot, you mean?
Like let him, Detroit. Yeah, let him go there. And now Kevin Stefanski, who's the son of a friend, obviously. Good man. But look, they made the mistake. They're going to have to live with it. And if there's a handful of teams in the NFL that I don't mind see him going to fizzle out, it would be Cleveland.
Pat, I would literally hate it. Bob hated this story, and it's good to be able to finally sort of be able to put it to bed. But I would have hated if he was the Eagles quarterback.
100%. It feels gross. I can't think of anybody on the Eagles that I don't want to cheer for. And it's always a weird feeling when your favorite team has one of those players. But when it's the quarterback, it's
face of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we had this or a similar situation, I guess it'd be Vic. The massive difference is Vic went to prison. Vic came in as a third-string quarterback. Vic did a lot to rehab.
He
rehabbed his image. I mean, he worked his way up. It was like,
and he wasn't a sexual predator.
Yeah,
a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit, right? I mean, it's not that what Vic did wasn't horrific, but I mean, he as you said, repaid his debt. This is just. It's gross from the top down, and I implore everyone to go watch the latest episode of Real Sports. They interviewed 2 women that came forward with allegations. It's just like the guy's an absolute creep.
I've told you before, a number that I always love to throw out is that Mike paid back 99% of his debt when he filed for bankruptcy. Paid back his debtors. And in Congress right now, and I pulled up the number for you this morning, there are over 200 plus members of Congress who have, in their lives, filed for bankruptcy and never paid it back. So just when people want to continue to throw rocks at Mike Vick, there's a lot of elected officials who filed for bankruptcy and never pay him back. Mike did everything to rehab his image and has done things. Deshaun Watson, he's a creep. And I'm absolutely floored because I watched him play in high school. And can't believe that this is the young man this is the guy he became, because I'm floored. The details of this case are terrible, and now these ladies can't share anything more. But when you go and you read the DMs and everything, it's just creep factor.
Yeah, I want to get the best players on my football team or basketball team, whatever it is, to try to win games, but that overrides everything with me. You can have him. If I lose to you because you get him and he becomes a good football player that beats me, I can live with myself for not taking him and losing to him because I don't want that around. And I'll say that to the day I die, and I've said it since I was a young kid. I don't want those type of people around.
We're all parents. I mean,
oh my gosh.
You want to raise your kid as an Eagles fan, and follow in your footsteps a little bit, and you want that bonding connection. It wouldn't feel good to point to him and cheer and knowing what I know about him and knowing what we all know about him at this point,
no,
it wouldn't feel good. And for all the things I'll say and I've said about Jalen Hurts, it really has to do with what he's done or lack thereof on the field. Because as a person, he seems to be an upstanding member of society with no issues whatsoever and a guy that is a role model for kids. And that part of it feels good. You know, the part where it's like, I want to root for this guy. I don't know if he can do the job, but I want to root for him.
You want to root? Yeah, you're wishing him well.
It's literally the exact opposite with Deshaun Watson, where you know he can do the job, and he's one of the best at it. But you wish him nothing but the worst because he's such a creep.
No, it's a creep factor. I can't imagine being a fan of that franchise right now on what you got to deal with. That is just not cool. It's not at all. Hey, summer's officially upon us, and so is the new seasonal menu at your local PJ's. So stop in, try some amazing items, including Big Mac tacos that will rival your go-to fast food.
I had
order.
those.
You did?
I had those at our happy hour. Very good.
And a Bloody Mary burger that will have you feeling alive in no time after a night out. A Bloody Mary burger. I don't know what would be in a Bloody Mary burger. I guess there's an egg on it.
Well, celery.
Well, a hangover burger I've seen, which has the egg on it. As long as it's not,
I
can't
love
be.
that.
As long as it's
really?
not, no, can't be runny.
Yeah,
Cannot be
no,
runny.
no, I don't like the runny egg, but you put an egg on a burger, absolutely.
So you're all in on the egg.
I got to try it, I guess. Because it just doesn't look good to me.
I think you'd like it.
It's very good,
I don't
dude.
know.
As long as there's no goo, all that goo running down the side.
Well, you have to have a goo. They probably do it over easy, right?
No. You can have it done. You can have it done fried.
Put a scrambled egg on there?
No. But
fried
it doesn't
hard.
really like run because that part's in the middle. If it is runny at all, it's like a breakfast stack. It's great.
Wow. Hey, in Cooney's Corner, well, some stars miss games that in other sports they'd never miss a game for.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Yeah, so Bryce Harper missed, I think, his third or fourth game last night with this infection, a blister infection on his hand. And look, when you're a hitter and you have something on your hand and you can't handle the bat as well as you want to, I totally understand it. But here's my thinking. Does the elbow have something to do with it? Because we talk
Dr. Cooney.
We talk an awful lot about like when guys have sore feet or sore knees and you overcompensate, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, your back is hurting or something because of overcompensation. Something else is hurting. I just wonder with this elbow. Now, look, is the elbow causing him to I don't know,
grip the bat differently?
It could be. I mean, think about it. It's his right elbow. You're coming through. I don't know. Maybe something different's changing when he's coming through that makes the bat turn on that hand, and that's why he got the blister, whatever it may be. But it all goes back to what are they going to do with this elbow? Then, John, you brought it up the other day, and if, in fact, he did change his swing just a little bit or his grip on the bat just a little bit, whatever he's done, it's been great because he has been absolutely rock solid.
He's been amazing.
He's my MVP pretty much for the National League maybe right now. But if it is something that he had to change just a little bit because of the elbow and it causes a blister or it causes that infection, whatever it may be, you really got to be concerned about this elbow in that when are they going to take care of this? How long is it going to take?
We're going to miss him next. We're going to miss it next year. So this better be a playoff year.
Yeah. At what point do you decide to go after that elbow and take care of it? And again, I'm not saying they're directly related. It caused me to wonder, we've heard many times about it. Overcompensation leads to other things. Whether this did or not, I don't know. Total speculation. But it brings you back to, when are they taking care of this elbow?
I'm going to tell you, Pat, NHL Stanley Cup Finals are on the night, right? Game 4, I think, tonight. Mm-hmm. Anybody missing the game with a blister?
I mean, if it was a regular season, absolutely.
A blister?
Yeah.
I've seen guys play with blisters.
We're ripping Bryce Harper for missing
it's not about ripping. Do you see?
That's what I'm asking.
Do you see?
No, but we're talking about the championship game versus a regular season game against Texas. And it's also, it's not just a blister.
That
it's a blister.
Lost.
It's a blister infection.
It's infected, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
This isn't just a normal blister. And also, that's a situation where I don't see it getting better. Like, if he were to continue to play and swing a bat, I don't see that blister healing by itself. It's going to take rest. So, but yeah, I mean, I think if it's a regular season game and somebody has like really bad lace bite or something like that, they'll just call it a lower body injury. But yeah, it's a regular season game.
Connor?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think he'd play through it, and I think he was clearly playing through it with the blister. I think the problem's the infection because he played he hit in the second game of that doubleheader, and then the next day it's just like all of a sudden, no, he's out with a blister.
Well, you know what he could do?
Yeah, and I think he had been dealing with it, and then he woke up and it was just way worse.
You know what he could do?
What could he do?
He can do what you didn't do with your eye. Yeah. He can take the antibiotic for it, and then he can follow through and take it till the antibiotic is finished so it doesn't come back.
I'm a self-proclaimed idiot, and I already admitted I was wrong there. But
well, we proclaim it, so you don't have to be a self-proclaimed one.
But, Bob brings up an interesting point. So I've had this injury that he's dealing with, a partial UCL tear. I had it, and you do get that kind of pins and needles, like numbing, tingling feeling in your fingers relatively often.
Right, I heard about that, yes.
If that's an issue, like it can affect, like he's not feeling the bat as well, so he has to grip it harder to kind of have that feel.
That could work, yes.
That certainly is a thing.
That's good insight on your part.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's a minor. We're talking blisters here. I understand the people complaining on the YouTube channel. We're talking blisters.
Got
but
blisters on me fingers.
It's because he's missing.
No, but it's a blister of the best player in the league, possibly.
And it could, like Connor just said, gripping a bat differently, whatever it may be. Yeah, blisters happen all the time in baseball. I understand that. But if this was caused because he's adjusting his hands a little bit because of the elbow,
that's an interesting angle.
I'm just looking at the bigger picture. If he's got to miss, it could be a couple weeks. If you're waiting for an infection to clear up and it's really affecting the way you hold the bat, it could be a couple of weeks.
No, he's in the lineup tonight.
Oh, he is in the lineup
Rob
tonight.
Thompson already said. Rob Thompson saw that offense and said, you got to get out there.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, the bigger picture here is obviously the elbow. Like, when do you get it to... Now, John, you said something about 6 to 8 weeks or maybe even longer if the tear's a little bit bigger than they thought.
No, if it's bigger, we could be talking about 6 months.
Yeah.
It could be 6 months. It could be 8 months.
Yeah.
Depending on what they find.
Yeah,
so... That's worst case scenario.
I got you. Yeah, but it can be.
It can be.
I mean, I just can't get that out of my mind.
He's most likely going to miss some of next year's season, even if he has the surgery in November.
Probably. I mean, that's why you have to have the surgery as quickly as possible after the season. But we've already,
or if they're eliminated.
I don't want to think about a team that just rattled off 16 in the last 19 games or whatever, sitting their best player, because at that point you're punting.
No, I got you.
You've just given up on the season, so you've got to go for it at this point, because what does that tell your fan base?
I got you. And hopefully the fan base will be very excited down the stretch. Connor guarantees a win today, by the way. So we got
to get our money out and start betting.
Lock
CT
win.
Lock.
I've already been on the Bet Parks app. They do not have a Connor bet available for you, but he says it's a lock. So lay it on it.
Absolutely. Bet the entire house.
Could I shift it and maybe give the Rangers like 2.5 runs or something? Or you just want to just say bet the money line?
Just bet the money line.
Bet the money line. Keep it safe. Pat, you have immense confidence in a guy that I'm going to ask you why you have such confidence in him.
Great question.
Who is it?
Daryl Morey. And I'm going to ask because the first time we really saw Daryl Morey go to work was draft night. And he had such a tall task ahead of him in terms of getting rid of that Al Horford contract and, building a bench. And he knocked it out of the park. And because of that, in a way, he's been Teflon to some criticism, because that was our first impression of this guy was you got rid of that contract. You brought in Seth Curry. You brought in Danny Green. You drafted Tyrese Maxey. Like, you can't have a better night than that.
No, it was a great
night. Did it. But I think the desperation factor with Daryl Morey and Elton Brand and company is actually going to benefit this team, where they realize, crap, like we have a window open. I 1,000% believe they thought they were going to get a veteran on the veteran buyout market. And as we talked about, that was the worst veteran buyout market probably we've ever seen. They struck out. They only got one, and he was cooked. And he was a big man backup that ended up losing time to a second-year rookie, or a second-year player. But, all intents and purposes, he was kind of a rookie. So I think the desperation factors are to go in. They've already been linked to P.J. Tucker. They've already been linked to Eric Gordon. And they've been calling everybody, trying to package the pick and Matisse apparently for something.
You heard Woj, right? Yesterday on ESPN. He says if you haven't gotten a call with a Matisse Thybulle and the 23rd pick offer, you must have had your phone turned off.
Yeah,
that everybody is.
Now, what I think is going to hurt them is the fact that like everybody knows they're desperate. So
yes,
you can kind of wait him out. But I just have faith that he's going to be able to fix this because I think he realized last trade deadline the bench was an issue and he just misplayed the veteran buyout market. But he realizes more than ever that they need to upgrade in the worst way possible this bench for them to have a shot at winning anything.
I throughout the day yesterday started souring on PJ Tucker.
Okay, why did you sour?
I understand
the age thing.
Yeah, 37, and if they're going to put you up against the salary cap, if signing him for, I don't know, 3 for $30 or whatever, puts you right there without doing other things, and that's why you're going over the luxury tax. I mean, 37-year-old PJ Tucker, I would hope you could find younger legs that can bring you some kind of defensive tenacity that he brings to the game. Now, his veteran leadership and all of those things that Pat pointed out yesterday, absolutely true, and this team needs it in a big, big way. I just don't know if I want to pay the money on P.J. Tucker for that to put you in that cap spot.
Don't think of it like you're paying for P.J. Tucker the luxury tax because we don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, Daryl Morey already has an idea of what James Harden is going to take, so he knows how much money he's working with. This isn't a normal situation that we automatically go, okay, well, if you sign him, then you're over. Now, there's a possibility of that, 100%, but my point is we just don't know. Daryl Morey does definitively know how much money he has to play.
Knows?
I think he's talked to James and
then why isn't the deal done then?
I don't know. Ask James.
Well, I mean, if he definitively knows,
I don't know.
Then this would be done, right?
We're talking about a player that didn't opt into the max because he was canceling his cable. Like, time isn't exactly of the essence, but I believe that he's
in Game 5 and Game 6.
Yeah, I believe he's re-signing, and I believe that he will give them a team-friendly deal. I don't think he's going to, in 2 weeks, call up Daryl and go, by the way, I need more money.
I want to know what this team-friendly deal is, because if it is, one of the things that was talked about yesterday is 3 years, $150?
No.
That's team-friendly?
No,
3 years,
horrible.
$135 was another that was tossed around. 3 years, $135 is not team-friendly.
No, you don't want anything over 40. You want to try to stay. I think you might have put it out the other day. Under 35 would be terrific.
I said 390 is what 390 or 300.
Oh, I always confuse you two. So does Daryl Morey pull off something like he did, years ago this summer when he traded Patrick Beverly, Sam Decker, Harrell, I think it was Lou Williams, and a first-round pick, which was late, for Chris Paul? Do you see? And this, I'm going to talk about this more later. But do you think there's something big coming or no?
If he had first-round draft picks to deal, I would agree with you.
That one he traded was a number 30 overall.
No, I got you, but he can't deal a first-round pick till 2029.
Well, he'd have to pick it and trade it. Yeah.
I mean, but that's 2029. I believe is the first time he can do that.
It's going to be a good draft class.
It is. It's looking good. The middle
eighth graders.
The eighth graders are looking
very strong.
Very.
Actually, they're probably in like fifth grade.
It's terrible. I mean, it's a terrible thought. You got to wait 7 more years till you can trade a number 1 pick. I'm telling you, it's an ugly.
You don't get no faith, huh?
No. I didn't say that. I have faith in Daryl.
I see it in your eyes.
But you have unbending faith in him.
Yeah,
I do not.
It must be this seat because you sit here and you just become
Sunshine Larry.
And all of a sudden it's Billy Mumphrey. But I got faith.
Billy Mumphrey was a cockeyed optimist.
Hey, if you'd like to say hello to Dylan McKinnon this morning, and who wouldn't? We've got 2 pairs of FanFest tickets to give away. Connor and Coach want to give you a pair of tickets each. So Connor has a pair and Coach has a pair. You got to call 215-263-0975. 215-263-0975. The code word is York Peppermint Patty. Say that, and you can win a pair of tickets to FanFest. And Dr. Dylan McKinnon will get it for you. He'll even show you his medical license. All right, coming up, an extreme defensive makeover. I can't get over that depth chart. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Whether you're in Pennsylvania or whether you're in New Jersey, you've got an official betting partner of the PGA Tour right in the palm of your hands when you open up the BetParx app. You can download the BetParx app. They've got special boosts and wagers all applying to the PGA Tour. And the all-new BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app has everything you love about a sportsbook and a casino in one easy-to-use app. You can bet on individual player performances. If you don't want to bet on a team to win, even though Connor has told me today it is a lock that the Phillies win today, I can just bet that money line. But I could also bet on individual hits, home runs, and strikeouts. You could maybe even bet on who sits out because of a blister. BetParks is the only sportsbook and casino app that I recommend. You're going to love it. Odds, bets, slots, and games all together. A risk-free bet up to $750 by using the promo code Kincade. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
I know that most people find his calm leadership to be a gentle, soothing beacon at a time of great social chaos.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Concerts, festivals, family gatherings.
There's an Everfresh juice for that.
Shooting hoops, sitting on the stoop.
There's an Everfresh juice for that.
Picnics, pool parties.
There's an Everfresh juice for that.
Days on the beach, nights on the town.
There's an Everfresh juice for that.
Crack of the bat, peanuts and hot dogs.
There's an Everfresh juice for that too.
There's an Everfresh juice for every occasion. Everfresh has over 40 flavors to choose from, including our premier apple juice line with your favorite apple to eat. Now available in a bottle to drink. Just twist the cap. Everfresh juices and juice drinks. Nature's refreshment.
Look for delicious 100% juice Honeycrisp apple or any Everfresh juice or juice drink flavor at McCaffrey Supermarket on Skippack Pike and Bluebell.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day, sun is shining, birds singing. You're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. N72. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
At Wendy's, we make breakfast better. Like with our Breakfast Baconator. Better from top to bottom bun. Savory sausage patty? Better. Crispy oven-baked bacon? Better. Fresh cracked egg? Better. The Breakfast Baconator might just be the greatest breakfast sandwich of all time. So you can keep settling for not better, or you can get a better breakfast from Wendy's. Tough choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Better Breakfast.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, sausage patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works.
we give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply. The future will be amazing, and that's all well and good. But what about today? You can feel the rush of a 400 horsepower Nissan Z. Or climb to new heights in the all-terrain Nissan Frontier. Light up the road in the all-electric Nissan Aria that feels like a sci-fi dream come true. The future will be great, but today is made for thrill. All you have to do is get in a Nissan and drive. 2023 Aria and Z not yet available for purchase. Expected availability is this spring for 2023 Z and this fall for 2023 Aria.
For the first time in 25 years, the Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald, Pat Simmons, and John McPhee, 50th Anniversary Tour. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Doobie Brothers. This Thursday at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
There is no such thing as an off-season for Eagles football on this show. More of the John Kincade Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
7 a.m. hour of the John Kincade Show brought to you by the all-new BetParks app. Sportsbook and casino are in one sleek, easy-to-use app in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And I did bet the money line on Connor Thomas's recommendation. $18.31.
Beautiful.
Because I like to round out. So, so that way.
Oh, I got you. You like the payout to be even?
No, I don't want the payout to be even. I just want the
your money.
balance. My balance to be even.
Same way.
Okay, I got
So
you.
I constantly place bets like they must look at it and go, he just placed a bet for $4.73. What is he thinking?
I think it's more normal than you think. I do the same thing.
It's odd because as we talked about the other day during our game of, I never round off at the gas pump.
Neither do I.
And I know people who do that. They pay with their credit card, and they get it to where they have I paid $54. Well, nowadays in this economy, $84 in gas, and they have to round it off to something. I'm like, you're paying with a credit card. Why do you need to do that? Why do I need to hear you tapping up, tick, 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 trying to get it to zero? What are you doing? You're paying with a credit card. Doesn't matter.
See, in Jersey, I just say, could you fill it up regular, please?
Maybe people only have budgeted $40 for gas on that week, and that's why
on
they
their
do
credit
it.
card?
They're budgeting their money.
But no. These are when people are filling up. I'm talking about, Bob, when the people are at the end of the thing. I'm not putting up the guy putting 10
on
other
people's
on pump number 12
or whatever.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
going to side with John.
I'm going to say that's ridiculous.
Going to side with John.
That's 73 cents.
I don't think you budget. You go, okay, well, I got this $10 here, and I got to get to that $10.
You don't think you budget, but many people probably do. This week I'm doing $50 for gas. I'm doing this much for whatever.
So wait, so if
you
you
don't
go,
know,
if you
you
get
don't
to
know what other people
if
do.
you get to the pump and it's $49.80, you go, well, I budgeted for $50.
I budgeted for $50. I got to round
as
up.
anal as this one is over here, you don't think there's other anal people that just say, look,
ridiculous.
I had $80 for gas this week, and that's exactly what I'm keeping.
Why would think those people paying cash?
Ridiculous.
I would think if you're doing that, you're paying in cash.
What difference does it make? You're budgeting your money. What are you going to take the cash out of the bank in order to pay it? You're still paying it out of your accounts.
Rounding off on the pump. I don't know if we have rounders off. If you're someone who rounds off,
Well, you're in
and you pay
Jersey.
with
You
credit
just
card.
say either fill it up or give me 40,
or give you 40. That's a little different. They can do it that way.
Wait, way longer.
By the way, Egan, we love having you in studio here. It's fun here that you in studio while Jamie's on vacation. And but stop touching the thermostat.
Why?
You turned it up to 83.
Okay, here's what really pisses me off in this building.
This is the 10th time you said what really pisses you
I'm
off
in a mood.
today.
I'm in a mood.
Okay, I can tell.
I don't like
Admittedly,
it.
I didn't get much sleep. I'm in a
Okay,
mood.
that's what it is.
We go, oh, you bumped it up to 83. And that paints the picture that it's 83 degrees in here.
No, it
and
doesn't.
we're living in a terrarium. Yes, because when you say you bumped up to 83, that gives the impression that it's going to go up to 83. Our HVAC system in this building is horrible.
Delco HVAC is not helping us.
No, they're
they
not.
Don't come here. They don't get called here.
This thing hasn't been serviced since World War II. All of a sudden, they went around to the bunkers and they hit this building. So when you bump it all the way up, it might get to 74.
I
maybe
don't want
cool
it there.
70. I understand that. That's fine. But painting the picture that I'm a lizard living in a terrarium.
Terrarium, dude.
Terrarium.
Yeah. He was on a roll. Let him go.
I'm on a roll. Connor, please.
I mean, if the Germans aren't bombing Pearl Harbor soon,
exactly.
I don't know what's happening.
It's unbelievable.
It's wrong. See, you got me off all my... Connor, come on.
Don't touch the thermostat ever again.
I won't.
Hey, the extreme defensive makeover for the Eagles is absolutely staggering. I went back and looked at the Eagles' depth chart from December and then looked at their new defensive depth chart now. In their just standard defense, they added Hassan Reddick. They added Kazir White to the linebacker core. They added James Bradbury at corner. They added Tart at strong safety. That's 4 starting positions where they absolutely upgraded, which then bumped down TJ Edwards, and that upgrades your backup. You get Jordan Davis, that upgrades your backup chart. You get Nakobe Dean, your backup chart is upgraded. I'm going to tell you this. This is a defense. I know that a lot of people scoff. I know Bob always sort of rolls his eyes. This is the team that gave up the 12th least points in the NFL last year. Yes, the schedule was definitely softer. But dare I say, top 10 scoring defense next year? The schedule's supposed to be easier. That defensive depth chart looks really, really good. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, to me, defense like that is more of an eye test. You talk about the points or whatever. Like, I think Tampa Bay could have scored 50 on him in the playoff game, but they didn't. They just scored 31 like they held off.
They could have.
The Eagles, a lot of times last year, didn't score many points and do other teams take the gas pedal off, like Kansas City, that game. Although,
wait a minute, the Eagles were down by 5 points in the fourth quarter.
I know. But
so
you can't convince me that Kansas City couldn't have scored 60 that game if they did whatever they wanted.
They took their foot off the gas.
Yeah,
they were never up in a big margin.
That game was never in doubt. Again, it's an eye test. This year, if the Eagles go out and are a scoring team, I think their offense, if they go out and they find out that A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts has improved and all of those things, and they're scoring 30, 35 a game, and their defense, after being up 17, gives up 20, 25, and all of a sudden you see a rise in points per game, it's an eye test thing. Could this team be a really good defense? Yeah, maybe. But this is the definition of on-paper defense right now to me.
So that's how you're feeling about it.
And look, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I don't know if Bradbury's going to be – look, he didn't have a great season last year. I don't know if Bradbury's going to be that second guy or if he's going to be the guy that consistently gets picked on and turns out to be the next Izell Jenkins or something like that. Ooh. I don't know. I know, that was tough. I don't know if Jordan Davis comes in here and all of a sudden we realize after 5-6 weeks, wow, the guy's really a part-time player. I don't know. Nakobe Dean might be that guy early on, like you said, John, that might grow into the position, but he also might be exploited for being too light to be able to have an impact on this team. So I like what they've done, but there's still questions abound, I think.
I agree with John on this one. They should be a top 10 scoring defense in the NFL. They're drastically improved, and they went out there and they made a point to go out and try to get guys that fit what Jonathan Gannon either wants to do or targeted or liked or whatever. But, I mean, the linebacking core is vastly improved. The defensive line, you'd think, would be vastly improved, especially just getting healthy would be a major improvement. Their secondary looks improved. Now, as to Bob, your point, it's all on paper. And injuries will eventually rear its ugly head. But, yeah, no, I mean, with this schedule the way it is and how this defense has been built, they should perform top 10. Should. And if they don't, then Jonathan Gannon ain't getting any head coaching gigs.
Well, that's the scary part, too. We talked about it endlessly. Against good quarterbacks last year, he was that bend, don't break, whatever it may be. There was nothing that helped the team get a win against good teams. He didn't do anything in that way. Is he there this year? And like Pat said, does he have his arsenal now that he says, okay, now I can really go after it?
And we can get more creative.
Yeah, we'll see.
Connor, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I lean more towards you and Pat, where I think they're going to be a top 10 scoring defense this year. And honestly, I think their ceiling might even be higher than that. They've just got a lot of really, really talented pieces on this roster. And regardless of the defensive coordinator, it almost feels like a can't-fail situation. I might eat those words some point later in the season, but where's their weakness now? They've addressed all of it, and they've addressed it well with guys that are proven to be able to play at this level. How many rookies are they relying on? I'd argue none. Jordan Davis.
You're not relying on them.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
So I don't see the downside of this defense remotely, and they weren't as bad as I think we look back on them at last year. I don't think they were as good as you hold them in regard, John, but I don't think they were as bad as the average fan thinks they were. So that says top third of the league defense easily to me.
So Ty wants to break the tie. How about that? Ty sends in, he goes, I want to break the tie here. He goes, you guys constantly debate that Kansas City game. With less than 6 minutes to go, it was 28-23
Yeah,
Kansas
we know.
City.
We know.
Yeah,
we were
so
there.
Where was
we
the thing
talked
about
about
six?
it.
Where was the thing about six?
John, if you watch the game, Kansas City could have scored all day long.
Well, wait a minute. Why wouldn't they? Why would they want to be up by 5 then?
You saw them running the ball. Patrick Mahomes was throwing the ball anywhere and any way he wanted. They ran the ball. It was like a practice game for them that they were setting up their offense. They were getting their defense sucked. They were holding on to the ball. They could have quick scored, I think, whenever they wanted to. They were holding on to the ball because if you remember at that point of the season, their defense
was
blew.
shaky as hell.
Was shaky as hell. They blew.
He said, I was in the stands. I never felt that game, though, was going to go the Eagles' way.
Right, exactly.
But they don't want to be up by more than 5 points. It's a one-possession game. One turnover, one fumble blows the game wide open.
Yeah.
At that point. You guys, you're psychic. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Hey,
you see the game and have the feel.
I saw the game. I did not have a 5-point game. Yeah,
dude, we had the feeling that they weren't going to win. They didn't win, and we're getting ripped for that.
No. He's not ripping you. He agrees with you guys. He said he was in the stands. He never felt that Kansas City was going to lose that game.
Yeah,
but he says it was a 5-point game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They didn't lose the game. Yeah, it came to fruition.
Yeah, but one tip ball, one fumble.
But it didn't happen. And there was no doubt in anyone's mind that it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't any doubt in Kansas City's mind. And I guarantee you, by the way, that if Kansas City did have one tip ball, one fumble, blah, 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 that there was no doubt that they were going to stop them. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. There was no feel that they were ever going to win that game. They didn't win that game. What are we
you guys
about?
all have that feel. Yes,
we
did not. I never in a one-score game say nothing can happen. This can't happen. Can't lose. Well, Eagles are up by 5 points. I never say to myself ever, yeah, you know what, we can't lose. There's nothing that could happen.
Super Bowl 52. It was a one-score game. And I said, they're not losing this game.
Oh, look at you.
There you go.
Bang.
Yes.
Got him. Way to go, Pat.
Hey, and he retired yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, he
Gronk
did.
retired again. He retired for the second time. Is he going to unretire?
We might talk about that later.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, what's big? Lives in the blue and likes to show off. Wales.
Good guess.
And they're making a big splash this
Blue
summer
scores.
in Maine. Visit Maine.com. This message sponsored to you by the Maine Office of Tourism. Maine is like really trying to lure you up there.
They're a bump. I saw TV spots.
You did. They're luring you up to Maine.
Obviously, I thought, well, Johnny Kincade is a big Maine guy. Everyone knows that. He's got Maine Black Bear season tickets for the hockey team.
I'll tell you what.
Isn't it
Water
Mariners?
and Woods?
Are the Mariners not there anymore?
That's the AHL team.
Oh, that's AHL team.
Yeah. Water and Woods for a week. That'd be cool.
I'm a little scared of Maine. Isn't that where all the Stephen King movies take place?
Isn't it Derry? Isn't that where Derry is?
Derry is in
You're
Maine.
scared of Maine. You're scared of a state.
Yes.
A little bit.
Oh,
Derry.
okay.
A little bit.
Don't
mock what he's scared of.
where
Bob.
you go on the
asking a
street
question. You weren't.
and there's a clown in the sewer.
That's called it.
I don't like clowns in sewers.
Notice they don't say in any of the ads, there's clowns in the sewers in Derry.
Dude, that's how. Are we sure that Pennywise did not write all these ads?
I hate Pennywise. I absolutely hate Pennywise.
He's misunderstood.
And there is a thrift store right near the faux Pat Egan insurance guy. The guy who uses your name, Pat. You should sue.
I'm not
that
suing.
he uses your name.
No, this is like Office Space. He's probably sitting there going, why should I change my name? Radio guy's the one who sucks.
He's right near Patty. Right there is they have the Pennywise thrift shop. I'm like, I ain't going in the Pennywise thrift shop. I'm sorry.
I know.
No.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm afraid. That's right near Scoops, right?
It
right,
is,
Pat?
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, pass on the way.
Patty, 2 scoops.
All right, early Major League Baseball All-Star voting shows that the Phillies aren't getting a lot of respect, but Bryce Harper is finally getting his due, as Bryce Harper is the leading vote-getter of designated hitters, and he is doubling William Contreras, who is number 2 in the voting. So Bryce Harper is going to be an all-star unless a catastrophic collapse happens. But when I look at the other names, William Contreras, Albert Pujols, Max Muncy, J.D. Davis, Bryce, you got plans. You got plans for the All-Star game. We don't have to worry about it this year. Now it's because he's a designated hitter. So I ask you, would the voters be stupid and not put Bryce Harper into an All-Star game? Would Bryce Harper, with the voters, do you believe supplant all of these guys? Mookie Betts? No. Nationally. I don't think that nationally Mookie Betts would get more people to vote for him.
No.
Probably.
Ronald Acuna Jr. I think more. See, I think many more. Nationally.
No,
disagree.
No.
Really?
Hasn't played enough. Came back late from injury.
No, we're talking about the MVP, the reigning MVP.
But I mean, this is a guy that Acuna was killing him in voting last year.
Yeah, but that was last year.
Yeah, and when Harper won the MVP.
Jock Peterson?
Possibly. He's incredible this year.
And he's dynamic. He's got a dynamic.
But it's not the name.
He's got, remember, these are fans. We're not talking about.
I know that. I know who votes on it.
I'm talking about fans voting.
I think that whoever the MVP is, I would bet you 90% of the time they're voted in the very next year. And we've seen it before where guys win MVP, and the year they win MVP, they're not an all-star. I've seen it twice now, at least with Jimmy Rollins and Bryce Harper. But Bryce Harper also has the name recognition. A lot of casual sports fans.
You think he's popular?
Popular,
Harper?
I don't know.
Outside of the... Well, that's
actually a good point.
That's a national... I don't think Bryce Harper's popular.
That's a very good point.
Anywhere but here.
Yeah, he is hateable.
He's hated in Washington.
I didn't think
now.
about
He's
that.
getting
Of course
booed
he's
in
hated
Washington.
in Washington.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Remember, though, he got some really good return.
Yeah, but
Washington back there.
Washington has 10 fans now.
Yeah, they do.
You
but
know,
I don't think he's a popular player.
Well, if I'm out in California and a baseball fan and I see Bryce Harper's name, I think I check his name off as an all-star because of his accomplishments more than saying, yeah, but you know what? I don't like that Phillies fanatic stuff he wears.
See, now
and
I
that's
think,
just me. I don't know.
I think a lot of people, though, Egan, would be like you, where they may cast a I can't vote for the guy vote.
Oh, I if you're a Met, I wouldn't vote for you. No shot.
I wouldn't vote for any. I wouldn't vote for.
Oh yeah.
I would never vote for a deserving Met.
Nope. No shot.
Not voting.
Well, then we can't complain about people that
That's why. No, but that's
vote
why I
against
don't think.
the way you
no,
think
but that's
they
why
should
I
vote.
don't think. That's why I don't think the fans should be voting.
No, I don't care. I'm not going
You
to
know
watch
what?
it anyway.
In baseball, I don't mind it, and I know it's great. Albert Pujols is up there for crying out loud.
Seriously.
And I know you want to get him in because it's his last year, but that should be a committee thing. That should be after the voting's done. Yeah, Albert, you're also
You have a
playing
spot.
also.
You have a spot you can fill.
But there's something about it. Maybe it's because when we were kids and you're punching the ballots and they handed them out at the stadium. And look, even back then, it was Larry Boa, it was Mike Schmidt.
Right.
You're always voting for the home team.
I'm never voting for a Met, and that's terrible. But that's another reason why I know fans don't deserve. Fans make so many stupid decisions in the voting.
Yeah.
Year after year.
Yeah, I mean, there's always mistakes. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to watch it anyway. I had more of a chance of. You had more of a chance of me watching when it quote mattered, because I was one of the few people that actually liked it. Because
the home field advantage thing.
Yeah, the Phillies were a really good team.
Yeah.
In that tenure, and for me as a Phillies fan, I'm watching it going like, all right, let me find out if we possibly could have home field advantage. I don't care now. It's
they
an
were
exhibition
also
game.
sending though four maybe 5 representatives to the game. Though, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Which makes the game different.
They were one of the better teams, so they're going to have more players and that. But the whole angle of like it did matter. People hated it. And I understand why they hated it. It got me to watch. And when they took it away, once again, I understand why they did it. I'm out. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care.
Wheeler's got to be there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Wheeler and Harper.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Aaron Nola might get a look.
You're not going to take 2 starting pitchers from the same team, though, you think?
No, but he might be close.
No, I
he
don't
won't
believe
go,
that.
but he might be close.
Schwarber?
No.
No, he's
With all the
212.
Yeah, but remember, though, all the home runs. I'm just talking about the...
No, it
He
was
might do
funny.
home run derby.
That's
Could
true.
see him doing that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
I was thinking JT before we saw the initial voting.
No.
Well, last year...
He's 7th in voting.
Last year, he was not deserving.
Fans are paying attention.
Last year, he was absolutely not deserving. He went anyway because he kind of holds that great offensive catcher, strong defensive catcher type of mantra, and people don't watch the game, so they just see, okay, well, Realmuto's always good. We'll just vote him in. And
Well,
I was
thankfully,
thinking that could
fans are
happen again.
paying attention this year. He's 7th.
What do you mean, thankfully? You wouldn't want him to go?
No, I don't want anybody to go that undeserved to go to the All-Star game. No.
But you just said you wouldn't vote for a Met, so clearly we're playing favorites here.
No, that's what I'm saying but I don't want to see undeserving
I want
people
Matt
go.
Vierling to play center field in the All-Star game. Like, I'll take it. Who cares?
Nah, I'd rather see take some time off and get in the batting cage and
Yeah, I'm cool if
do
you get
all
some
right.
time off.
Do all right. Get some time off.
Okay, the time
Get
off is...
Get away.
Maybe do another commercial.
Get away from it all. Well, Matt Vierling doesn't need any more time off. I'm talking about JT. Give JT a little rest. Give him a little rest.
He had 2 hits last night. The bat's coming around.
Go on and get some production going there. Which we're hoping. We're hoping that something like that happens. An interesting thing here is that where Major League Baseball and now they have seen a huge amount of following of Major League Baseball using their app, the MLB at Bat app. And I tell you every year, that is one of the bills that I never mind getting, the Major League at Bat app bill. I think it's $20 a year or something like that, where I can get the audio of all the games and everything like that. The engagement with under 35 people for the MLB at Bat app is 3 times what it was just 7 years ago. That's awesome. That's all. I love it. I love
shocking,
it.
too.
I love the app. Well, the app started out slower, and it's a really great app.
It's improved leaps and bounds from where it was.
So I think now people are starting to respect it. I love it. I love being able to listen to any game I want at any time.
Yeah.
And hear the broadcasters and everything. I think it's great.
Yeah. Baseball is such a cool, laid-back. Like yesterday, I had nothing to do for a little bit. I turned on the Notre Dame College World Series game. You know, just because it was on there, and the city game in Oklahoma and stuff like that. And, you know, like, baseball's just that kind of game. What are you making a face at? What is your problem today?
I don't get why you'd watch it.
Because there was nothing else to watch. Like, what do you mean? What, am I going to turn on a soap opera?
What's he going to watch? He could be watching General Hospital.
Yeah, no.
I know.
More people were watching General Hospital.
Watch whatever you want to watch.
But
I mean, you know, what's wrong with watching Texas A&M Notre Dame baseball?
Ting!
It's baseball. It's competition.
I hate the sound of the bat.
Really?
Ting!
Oh, I love the sound of the
guy threw down a great punt yesterday. Like, it was like fundamental.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sacrifice.
I think the College World Series, I swear that when I watch one of those broadcasts, I feel like I'm watching their coverage of the Little League World Series. They have to show you all the parents in the stands. They got to show you the hot dog, that you got to get this hot dog when you're in Omaha. And then they have the hot dog that everybody gets every year, and they show the guys eating it. That's a steak.
Oh, you mean like in the NFL games where they show people cooking the cheesesteaks every time the Eagles are on?
No, they do segments during the game.
I hear you.
Here's the broadcaster getting it's like with John Kruk and the food. Where we got to have bringing in food.
Well, because there's no storylines between the teams. These teams often have not played each other before.
And people don't.
People don't know their stories.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I don't know their stories. So in that respect, Connor, I would love to hear about some of the guys.
Yeah, but if the Phils play the Mets, it's like, oh, this rivalry's awesome. These guys have done this year. There was a benches clearing this year. This is like 2 teams that haven't played each other.
Yeah, but you know
players are gone next year.
I want to hear about the guy playing second base who was drafted.
Right, and you will, but they're shorter on storylines because of the lack of history between the teams, so you fill it with that stuff.
We got Pat's Takes coming up this hour. And Jason Coletti, for the first time ever, we have a 2-time suggester for a listener-suggested segment. So Jason Coletti really getting it done for us. We appreciate that. We got a lot coming your way. Stick around. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. It is June. It's Men's Month. We just went by Father's Day. And Monday morning when I stepped on the scale, I was 20 pounds lighter. 20 pounds lighter than I was just the last week of April. That's awesome. thanks to Copair Health. COPARAhealth.com. Copair Health has helped me. And I'm asking you right now, do you have 9 weeks? Do you have 9 weeks to devote to losing 20 pounds? What would 20 pounds feel like? I can tell you, it feels great having it off my frame. 215-948-4648. My personal coach, Vance, helps me through the process. I've got 8 pounds left to just get to my goal, and I think I'm probably going to end up trying to go more than that. Now, I've lost 3.5 pounds the last 3 weeks. I had lost 16.5 pounds, though, in the first 6 weeks. So things change. You stay dedicated. You stay putting the wins up on the board. Go to Copair Health, COPARAhealth.com. They will give you your first week free if you tell them you're a Fanatic listener. Call 215-948-4648. I love the coaching from Copair. I love what it's done for me. It can do it for you, too.
The John Kincade Show.
You're a middle-aged man. You can't be a DJ.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. The biggest party of the year for Philadelphia sports fans is back.
Oh, my God!
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
Put it on your calendar and make plans now to be there.
Let's just go. All of the Fanatic hosts celebrity guests, interactive activities, and attractions.
And lots of food and drinks.
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
The countdown is on. This is a free event, but you will need a ticket to attend.
Keep listening for ticket giveaways, ticket rate information, and more special announcements.
Must be 21 or older to attend.
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Believe it. Be there.
Hey amigos, Becky G here to let you know that if you want it all just like I do, there's a new way to save with Xfinity Internet.
That's right. Now get Xfinity Internet with unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free streaming box with your favorite entertainment. All for just $39.99 a month with a 2-year rate guarantee and no annual contract required. Switching to Xfinity has never been easier. It's risk-free, and you get all the Wi-Fi power your family needs for a house full of connected devices. And with everything you've got going on at home, you deserve internet that can keep up. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Get an incredible value on unlimited internet and free streaming. Switch today.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Performance Pro Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. Because the BetParx app has a brand new sports book. Live bets and parlays? You bet. Instant deposits and incredible app experience? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you already a winner just for signing up on the BetParx Sportsbook app? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only. Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new BetParx app is everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And all new BetParx app users can choose between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. Which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. N72. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Hey, Dad. Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
It's one thing to build a truck. It's another to build a legacy. The Ford F-150. The only truck with an available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard generator. The only one with an available work surface in the front and the back. And the only one that is part of the F-Series lineup that has been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Now you can get special incentives when you build to order a new F-150. Inventory is arriving daily, so hurry in for best selection. Get to your local Ford store today.
If you have to towel off after you towel off, don't throw in the towel. Call your independent Delaware Valley trained comfort specialist for a new high-efficiency air conditioning system with whole-house air filtration. You'll get cooler, cleaner, and healthier air throughout your home and lower energy bills, too. So if your AC puts out more hot air than a politician, visit Train.com to find a Delaware Valley independent trained comfort specialist near you and ask about rebates and special financing offers. It's hard to stop a train. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Is your house warm inside? Is your house cold in the wintertime? Is it drafty? Are your heating and cooling bills absolutely outrageous? Window Nation's got you taken care of. Window Nation has got a great deal for you that's going to allow you to pay nothing for 2 full years. And you're going to get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. You're going to make no down payment. You're going to pay no interest for 2 full years. So you get to go to summer of 2024 before you ever have to stroke that check. And it's awesome because they've got every style, every color, every size you could potentially need. They've got them in vinyl and wood and fiberglass. And when you're not paying for anything for 2 full years and you get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, this is the time to make the call. So you call them today at 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION for my friends at Window Nation.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
The Sixers and their fan base hang out here every morning on the John Kincade Show.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on the Fanatic. So 2 of us had to navigate wildlife on the way to work today, and then we have a third. The D-Train, Dylan McKinnon.
What's he navigating?
He had to stop in the road because a deer was staring at him and was blocking his way. That is so
like a
weird.
Deer in headlights.
All 3 of us. And by the way, never honk. If you do have the deer in the headlights, never honk.
Why, they attack?
They may charge.
I'll take my car over deer any day.
Yeah, but you don't want your car getting damaged. Why would you want that?
I don't care.
Deer just, there's a cocky, arrogant attitude to them.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they really is.
Deer don't suck.
Yes, they do.
Deer are cool.
No, they're not.
They are.
They run without even looking both ways, which is something you teach every child, which is look
Why
both
don't
ways
their
for
mom and
frustrating.
dads teach them that?
They can't talk.
Because their mom got shot by a hunter. Shout out to the hunter in Bambi.
Oh, whoa.
It's the real MVP right there.
Thumper was my favorite.
I cheer for the hunter in Bambi. I have no problem saying it. I can't stand deer. All they do is cause accidents and carry around ticks.
Was Bambi a girl or a boy?
Don't know.
They bring me pleasure.
Was Bambi a girl or a boy? Connor?
I don't know. Boy?
I think.
Girl?
I think. Well, that's
deer?
Always, I think Bambi was a boy.
I thought Bambi was a boy.
I think that.
But he got it. But he got it. Then why are so many strippers named Bambi?
It's
because they have long legs.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that is
because they, like Bambi, have daddy issues.
That could very well. Very well.
That was pretty good, Pat.
Hey.
Thank you. You know what I've noticed, speaking of nature, that I've noticed an awful lot this year, and I said it to the guys I was golfing with the other day. I've seen a ton of Orioles this year.
Yeah, we were on the golf course. We saw 3 or 4 the other day.
Really? So that's right.
Yes.
With you guys, I saw them too. I saw a few in my backyard the other day.
I've never seen Orioles in the wild.
That was the first time I've ever seen it was at Bluebell Country Club.
And then when we were out at French Creek Club on Monday, there was like 5 or 6 Orioles, throughout the course.
Bunch of bandwagon fans. They call up Adley Rutschman, and all of a sudden,
yes,
they come
exactly.
out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
See,
agreed.
I was saying too is where'd the bugs go? I came up here last year, so my first summer in Philly in 25 years, and everybody's freaking out over these flies.
The lantern flies.
Mm-hmm. Where are they?
They're still around.
Yeah,
they heard you got up here and they left.
But last year, there's like it was on the news every night. Are they like the cicadas?
They're like the Heelys of bugs. You know, they're a little trendy for a while, and then they kind of peter out.
But everybody was freaking out last year about these lantern flies. I haven't seen them at all this year.
Well, yeah, when you tell everybody in like the entire state to just start stomping on them, you kind of kill them off pretty quickly.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
All right, well, protect your home with DryTech waterproofing solutions. You do not want water in your basement. And Fanatic listeners get 15% off when you mention the John Kincade Show, so do it. If you got water in your basement, cracks in your foundation, or mold remediation, I'm telling you, the bill will be higher if you keep putting it off. So trust the experts at DryTech, drytechcorp.com. It is our listener-suggested segment of the day.
Here is the listener-suggested segment of the day.
And Jason Coletti gets to pull a Kincade 2 times, Pat. 2 times.
Okay.
Jason Coletti, a 2-time suggester.
Hey, Johnny 2 times.
He says, we are asked a would you rather question from Jason Coletti. Would you opt to sign Jalen Hurts now to a 4-year, $80 million extension with $60 million guaranteed now before the season? Or gamble, and the result will be you have to pay him a 5-year, $200 million contract with $160 million guaranteed. Would you rather? Would you bite the bullet now on doing sort of like what you did with Wentz, giving him 4 years, $80 million now, $60 million guaranteed, or do you gamble and next year it might be 5 years, $200 million, where you got to guarantee $160 million? Would you rather?
Yeah, look, if he proves to, if whatever happens this year, he's going to prove to you, I think. Prove to you whether he's the franchise or he's not the franchise. I don't think we're going to be borderline on the fence like you and I are now with what many people are now, with some off, some on. I think after this year, you're going to know definitively. So I would hold out. If I have to pay him $40 million after this year because he's proven to me that he is the quarterback, okay, that's the going rate. That's what I got to do. Okay. The bargain basement thing does intrigue me, though.
I mean, if I wonder if they came to him right now and said 4 years, $80 million, and $60 million guaranteed.
Well, here's how I have to look at it. If I'm Howie Roseman, is that too much to pay a backup quarterback if indeed that's what he proves to be after this year?
No shot. And
because then you're bringing. I'm sorry, real quick, Pat. Because then you're bringing in probably a rookie. Now is your Brit, which is going to be on a rookie contract,
but still.
So I don't know. That's a great question, but I think I would wait till after this year.
Wait, and it's mainly because of Howie Roseman. I've seen this guy maneuver the cap. So telling me that it's going to cost more money later down the road, I don't worry about it. Jamie's right. The cap is fake. Howie Roseman knows how to maneuver it, but I'm not. I'd rather know what I'm getting for what I'm signing rather than just take a risk, because you're really taking the risk of signing him early in this situation because you want to save money for the down the road signing.
What's the greater risk?
Oh, the greater risk is signing him. Like now. Signing him now when you have no idea. Like, he hasn't done anything to deserve
signing him now for 80.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's
what has he done?
But think about what I'm saying. And look, I think this is a great question. If he isn't the guy, and you're paying him $20 million a year to be your backup, and you bring in a 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th overall pick on that rookie contract, then you're paying the position at a pretty good rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the worst rate, but you still have 3 years left of Jalen Hurts at $20 million.
But you're not going to extend any.
And at that point, it's close to an untradeable contract because everyone knows he's a backup. You have no leverage.
I am not paying it.
Like you're paying $20 million for backups.
I'm not doing it. I'll roll the dice and wait. I hope he proves us wrong.
Yeah, so we're all on board with waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he does because I like him. I want him to do well. We'll see what happens.
It'd be cool if we were reporting a long-term deal a year from now.
Yeah, that'd be great because then we know.
Because we know,
it went well. Then it went well.
Hey, yeah, and then we go back to back to this subject and say, damn, Jason was right on. You should have signed him to that contract last year because he proved to be that guy, and then you could have saved all that money.
Yeah, that is. Well, yeah. Then
I mean, seriously, think about it.
I'm not ready to. But no, I would not be ready to pull the trigger right now.
No, I don't think so either. But it's a great, Jason. That's a great question.
Yeah, Coletti comes up with some good stuff there. So he's the man to beat in the clubhouse. Josh is in New York and he joins us. Josh, good morning. You're on the Fanatic. How are you?
Good morning, guys. So real quick on this, you can't do it now, and here's why. If he becomes that superstar and you do it now, he's going to demand to renegotiate and end up with that $200 million deal in 2 years anyway. So there's really no benefit to doing it now, in my opinion. You're just putting too many eggs in the basket.
Well, I think you'd still be able to. You'd have the leverage. You wouldn't have to renegotiate. If you signed him now to a 4-year extension above this year, you wouldn't. He can't renegotiate in 2 years. You'd laugh.
He becomes that superstar, and everyone $45, $50 million.
He's not getting a renegotiation with 4 years left on a deal. Teams will renegotiate 2 years out. They don't usually renegotiate they do not usually negotiate ever 3 years out. 2 years out they would. But I still wouldn't do it.
Well, I wonder too, I mean, how much hesitation is Howie Roseman going to have for signing him to a long-term deal after what happened with Wentz? You know, he did a really good job of getting himself out of that Wentz contract, but as we've talked about it before, like you kind of put yourself in that situation. So how much credit can we give you? He signed Wentz.
Correct.
And obviously, from what we know now, there were signs at least that he wasn't, there were character issues there. But he still gave him that a massive contract that he had to get out of. So I wonder if Howie Roseman's going to learn from that mistake, or maybe it'll be a detriment and he'll wait too long or whatnot. But I wonder how eager he is to just sign a guy to a massive contract after what happened last year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Adam Schefter in a half hour. Pat's takes in around 7-8 minutes from now. But Cooney's Corner comes first, and he wants us to put a hat on. I don't wear hats, Pat.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's
Pat
Corner.
wears hats.
I do, yeah.
Connor sometimes wears hats.
I'm a hatsman.
Coach doesn't wear hats.
Coach doesn't wear
Jamie's
hats.
a hatsman.
There you go.
I'm a hatsman.
But what hat do you want me to put on? Because I really
I want you to put on your Daryl Morey hat. And we hit on it a little bit earlier
today. It would be a fedora, wouldn't it? Or like a Jeff cap, maybe?
That's the Rob Thompson hat is the fedora.
Yes.
He said he owns like 8 of them.
That's
is that
incredible.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't look like a fedora's-man to me.
He was wearing one in the team picture before the road
Yeah,
trip
that was a cool. That was a really cool one.
Yeah, I'm not a fedora's-man. But if you are Daryl Morey, and you had to pick one, and I mentioned it earlier, like one of the biggest trades he made was when he was with Houston, and it was, I believe, like 5 players, including Lou Williams, Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell, a number 1 pick overall, and you brought in Chris Paul. And it was one of the biggest moves he made. If you were Daryl Morey, if you were heading the Sixers right now, would you look to right now, and obviously it would be Tobias Harris and other parts and things like that, to bring in yet another star to go along with Joel Embiid? Or would you hold on to this draft pick, maybe pick a player for another team, look to shore up the roster a little bit? I'm not talking about, bringing in another star and trying it yet again with somebody else. Which way do you think you would lean on this one?
I am not. I know absolutely how I would lean if I was him, and if if Daryl reaches out, I'll.
He's not going to.
He's not.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
If he did reach out, I would tell him I'd bolster the bench, I'd bolster the depth, I'd feel better with that.
So it's more standing pat.
Absolutely, I would not. But I also though
Fridays.
But I also would never go anything that goes 3 years, triple digits with James Harden in an extension. So that would also come into my play.
Sure.
I want to build the depth up, and that's going to be Tobias being moved. And I like Tobias, but don't want to see that.
So you don't want to see Tobias move?
No, I don't want to see it, but I'm going to see it. I think I'm going to see it.
Okay. What do you think, Pat?
At this point, kind of keep everybody and just improve the bench.
That's what you do.
I'm so sick of the facelifts.
It's amazing,
been a lot
isn't
of them,
it?
hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're looking like Renee Zellweger. It's not good. So, just stay with the same core at least and just ride it out.
Give it another
and
try.
Just give a nice supporting cast. That's it.
Yeah. Now, look, there's going to be plenty of people that say, no, you got to get rid of Tobias and go for put name here. A high contract guy or whatever. I got to lean towards you, Pat. I've read the names a million times. The 16, 17 guys prominent players.
Are you rolling the dice again?
That they've tried. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
they've tried to do it. Just shore up what you have and give it another run this year. Connor, you same way, or how do you?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Part of me wants that splash move to just make me excited because you always want to chase the stars, right? That's what gets the fan base into it. That's what you like. Like seeing Bradley Beal in a Sixers jersey, I'd get excited over that.
Yeah.
But the smart thing to do is you put all your eggs in this basket already, this Coors basket, and you're running out of time. You got to just go bench, and you got to see if you can make this work because it's really your only prudent option.
Sounds good to me.
Joel Embiid's 28 years old already.
Yeah.
At some point we have to start going over that hill and saying, man, he's it's getting late. So what are you doing? Are you going to rebuild again, or are you going to stick with what you have?
That's why it's so important because the window is open, but it's not going to be open for more than 3, 4, 5 years, maybe.
And the general Tyrone Johnson on the afternoon show was getting up in people's feelings a bit. I couldn't have agreed with him more. I listened on the way over to Villanova for the Young Sports Broadcasters Camp and then on the way back, and people were up in their feelings. And he said flat out, and I agree with him 100%, if this team craps the bed again next year, Joel Embiid's going to ask out. And I absolutely would put it at 60% plus that he asks out.
I don't think
if this team craps the bed again.
I don't think so. I honestly,
he's just going to go down with the ship.
Well, I think it's because he realizes that a big part of their shortcomings are because of his injury woes. So look. I mean, accountability isn't big in sports. We all know that.
So you think you just sit through a rebuild?
I don't know if there'd be a rebuild. I mean, you'd still have James Harden after next year. You'd still have Tobias Harris. You'd still have the core. If they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they lose in 7 games.
No, but
I don't think he's asking
that's not crap in the bed.
But some people would consider it crap in the bed. I wouldn't, but
I don't.
But I don't see him going, yeah, I'm out, because his connection with the city is strong.
If this team gets to a Final Four, it's certainly not crap in the bed. You lose in the Final Four, you've had a really great year.
But some people would say, well, you're bringing back Harden for that amount of money. You're bringing back Joel Embiid, the injury, blah, blah, blah. Well, they need to get to the finals.
Okay.
I don't agree with it, but
let's find out what's going on in Pat's mind, in Pat's take.
With or without, either way, it's time for Pat's Takes.
Here's Pat.
Hi, guys. It's me. It's Pat.
Here's Pat.
We talked about it a little bit earlier until I shut it down. Rob Gronkowski announced his retirement for the second time in the NFL. Gronk appears to be done this time as he took to social media to announce the decision.
Is he?
I think he is. Yeah. I think he is. I think he was convinced to come back last time by Brady, and this time he's done. But he also told a cool story on the post that announced his retirement. So, like many kids growing up, he was asked what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he always wrote that he wanted to be a dentist. But the teacher laughed at him and said, pick a more realistic topic. So his backup plan was always the NFL. The teacher also made him pick a location. So Gronk would always write that he wanted to be an NFL player for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So Gronk literally lived the dream and manifested his childhood goal. So it's pretty cool. Follow your dreams, unless it's to be a dentist. But yeah, Gronk always wanted to be a Buck. He became a Buck.
He wanted to be a Buck.
And now he rides off in the sunset. And a big reason he said was, the weather. I think the team at the time, I'm guessing, was that 0-2
Super
Bowl team. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing. I'd have to, do the math.
Yeah,
but
he's probably like 10, 11 years old then, yeah.
I love the pewter. Not the old creamsicle crap.
I don't like that
I like the...
I think a lot of guys, when they're choosing what team they want to play for, or the color of the uniform is a big play on that.
That's a big part.
Yeah,
I think
probably,
I think being in Florida and not having the state tax.
Yeah, that's...
I don't think he was thinking about that at the time. I think he was probably more so, I live in Pittsburgh and the weather's really nice in Tampa.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's pretty cool.
Wouldn't you think a kid would want to be a Steeler?
I don't know.
Gets cold in Pittsburgh in the winter.
It gets cold, yeah. Gronk for all of his goofball tendencies, he's always been one step ahead, it seems like, with a lot of things.
He's very smart,
So for that, right? Like, you're 10 years old and you're like, yeah, I want to play for the local team. And Gronk's like, yeah, the local team's great and all. Weather and state tax.
Yeah. Throw me down. He knew about state taxes at 11.
Absolutely. He had to.
Yeah, his business acumen.
Drew Rosenhaus was already talking to him back then.
Absolutely, he was. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. When we look to bond on the show, we usually go to a happy hour at PJ Wellahan's.
Right.
Or we might do a trip with Philly Sports Trips. But a Swiss ad agency said no to both of those options, choosing to bring their workers together in a different way.
Hell.
Walking over hot coals.
What?
And it is certainly an event that the workers will never forget, especially those that can't walk. When the first worker couldn't make it across, the manager who orchestrated the event was heard telling the other workers not to be that guy.
Like a bitch.
But one by one, the ad agency was watching employees drop like flies. When it was all said and done, the team building exercise brought together multiple teams, like 10 ambulances.
You're kidding me.
2 emergency medical teams and the police. So it really was team building. All in all, 25 employees were injured, and the ad agency is in hot water for the stunt that was clearly a Swiss miss. Pause for laughter.
Way to go, Pat.
No, I like that one.
But while the manager who orchestrated the stunt is being ripped, I am here to tell you he doesn't deserve it.
What do you mean he doesn't deserve it?
The mission was accomplished, John. Sure, he could have gotten everybody together and had Debbie from accounting fall backwards as everyone caught her. It's been done before, right? He brought everyone together in a unique way, a class action lawsuit. Because nothing says bonding with your coworkers like hitting up a PJ's happy hour with that settlement money. It's also been good for the ad agency as well. They have been hit up by Tinactin, which helps relieve athlete's foot. And that burning sensation. A slew of burn creams have contacted.
The burning sensation.
They have a slew of burn creams have contacted the ad agency. And Skechers, who had no idea. Skechers had no idea about the incident, but they just liked the ad agency's reviews on LinkedIn. So the agency might actually get the last laugh after all.
If it brings us closer, I'll watch you walk over hot coals, Pat.
No, Bob, you didn't check your email this morning. We got a Friday at 3 o'clock.
We're going to have
They've scheduled a walking over the coals.
It got changed. There's a Zoom meeting to discuss how we're going to walk over the coals Friday at 3.
Next week.
And then we're going to get a bunch of emails saying that next week.
Next week we'll do it.
You guys better be careful at either 9:30 or 3:30. There's two opportunities to walk over coals. 9:30 or 3:30 p.m.
Okay.
All right, today in history.
Distancing.
Yeah, Joe Bell's going to walk in, and Bob's like, it was them.
Bob, it was distancing, but that was not me.
Today in history, 1937, Joe Louis knocked out James Braddock for the heavyweight title. Braddock was the subject of the Ron Howard movie Cinderella Man. Lewis is one of the best boxers of all time. 1944, the Phillies won the longest shutout in history. They beat the Braves in 14 innings, but...
That's the longest shutout?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
But in 1959, Phillies got the record for most strikeouts in a game. Sandy Koufax mowed down 16 of them. 1981, John McEnroe had his famous "You Can't Be Serious" rant at Wimbledon. And then in 1991, the Quebec Nordiques took Eric Lindros from the Oshawa Generals first overall. He ended up in Philly at
There was a lawsuit.
one point. There was a lawsuit.
Yes.
And actually, 2 days ago, I believe, was the anniversary of the trade to Philly.
I'll never forget that day.
Them or New York.
That was such a mess.
It was crazy. I was working at the Daily News at the time, and on a computer where when you had a wire service, a sports wire service, and when big stories came over, they were highlighted in your column of stories. So I kept hitting refresh because it was a 1 o'clock deadline. I'll never forget.
And it was an arbitrator,
refresh.
right?
Yeah, refresh, and then finally it came up: Flyers land Lindros. I'll never forget that.
There you go. Everybody thought that was going to end up in a Stanley Cup.
It did. For Colorado?
Yeah, for Colorado it did. Hey, coming up, the goodbyes are coming. The question is, are you going to be shedding tears? It's the John Kincade Show. We're halfway home here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I know when the air conditioner isn't doing its job, people can be miserable. That's why H&H Heating and Air Conditioning wants to help you out. If last year you knew your HVAC system really wasn't getting the job done, do you think it's going to make it through the hot months of July and August this year? Why don't you get it inspected now? But if you think it's going to crap out on you, H&H has got the inventory to be able to install a new system for you with savings up to $1,500 in rebates on qualifying systems, plus 0% financing for qualified buyers. So there's absolutely no reason to wait. I love H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. I always tell you that I'd love for you to get acquainted with them without it being an emergency situation. But if you need it, you go to DelcoHVAC.com and you contact them. DelcoHVAC.com. The Hoke brothers have been doing it great since 1985, and they will take fantastic care of you. We have our system maintained. It makes good sense. You should too. Check out DelcoHVAC.com and H&H Heating and Air Conditioning.
The John Kincade Show.
They put it on the air?
Of course they put it on the air. It was a big success.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
At T-Mobile, we believe customers should get more. And with Magenta Max, our most popular plan ever, that's exactly what you get. On Max, you get more premium data than our standard plans. That's right, unlimited premium data, so you can stay connected to what matters most. And now, with Magenta Max, you get even more savings than before. Families on Max can get 5G home internet for just $30 a month. You heard right, just $30 for reliable 5G home internet. That means Max customers save $20 a month. And you get all this on the network with more 5G bars in more places than anyone else. At T-Mobile, you get more with Magenta Max. More premium data and more savings on 5G home internet. Head to your local T-Mobile store and make the switch today.
T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Capable device required. 5G home internet availability limited. 4G options also available. Qualified accounts include regulatory fees and price. $5 more a month without autopay. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Hi, it's John Kincade. I hope you're listening to the show every single morning. You know, I'm a two-time cancer survivor. So I want to thank all of you who have joined us in supporting life-saving cancer research by donating at aacr.org/fanatic. And to our generous corporate partners, thank you for stepping up and supporting the AACR. It's the official charity of the John Kincade Show.
Davis CPA Group. For personalized caring accountants, bookkeeping, payroll, and tax preparation services, visit daviscpagroup.com. With over 1,500 windows to choose from, Window Nation can outfit any home. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. You can always count on H&H Heating and Air Conditioning for total home comfort and fast, friendly, and local HVAC service. Visit DelcoHVAC.com.
You know, donations to the American Association for Cancer Research from our listeners and corporate partners add up to big breakthroughs that benefit cancer patients worldwide. Join me. Make a life-saving donation today at aacr.org/fanatic.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. It doesn't matter how big or small your business is. If you're a plumber, roofer, electrician, or remodeler, your business earns back when you spend, gets exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help drive your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and paint rewards awarded as Lowe's e-gift cards. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change. U.S. only.
If you're a window installer, keep it simple. Choose Andersen 400 Series windows. They're the cladwood windows contractors trust the most. So much so, they're the windows contractors trust for their own homes. And with fewer callbacks, the choice is simple. It's Andersen 400 Series windows, the windows contractors trust the most. Get started at AndersonWindows.com today.
Claims based on 2022 Anderson Brand Survey of U.S. contractors.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma, applied with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
Think you know Amazon? Think again. Did you know you can get paid when it works best for you? Yeah, that means you can get the money you earned directly after your shift. Or that you get benefits like healthcare on your very first day. As an Amazon warehouse associate, you'll be amazed by what you can get. To learn more about all of the benefits of working an hourly job at Amazon, go to Amazon.com/hourly. That's Amazon.com/hourly. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
They say summer is all about taking it easy. Thanks to Fred Beans Expressway, we've made it easy to purchase your vehicle online on your time. Find the pre-owned vehicle for you during the Fred Beans Better Summer Used Car Sales Event. Shop over 1,500 quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs at your leisure. Our goal is to hit 100% credit approval. And our 5-day return, 30-day exchange policy is a breath of fresh air. As Fred himself always says, our used cars are better because our reputation depends on it. See how Fred Beans does used better at FredBeansUsed.com.
Enjoy savings on dinner favorites at Whole Foods Market. Get top sirloin beef steak and beef kebabs for $7.99 a pound through June 28th, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
Meineke is celebrating 50 years of service with 50% off brake pads and shoes. Now that's worth celebrating. For tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust, and more, trust Meineke, doing car care right.
Hey, guys, step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the PGA Tour on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge. New customers can bet the tour with a no-sweat first bet and get $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. You got the Travelers Championship this weekend. It's in Connecticut. You have some big names, Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler. But I'll tell you what, my pick for this week, Patrick Cantlay. Give it a look. See the odds that you might like. I love FanDuel, and I love when I win. I get paid faster than a blistering drive off the tee. So see for yourself why FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code BOB to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Use promo code BOB. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
I've got a dog named after Nick Foles. You can't get more Philly than that. We're always loving the backup quarterback.
How's everyone doing?
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
The 8 o'clock hour on the John Kincade Show. Halfway home on this Wednesday morning is brought to you by Martin Law. They are the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. Back to that Chiefs game. Charles says we need a board. We need a board on arguments that we can never agree on a resolution.
Oh, God, that board would be filled.
I don't think it would.
Yeah.
He says he can't think of many others. He goes, but that's one that he knows as a loyal listener to the show that will never agree. He goes, you got to put you guys need some sort of a board.
Toppings on a pizza will never agree.
What do you mean?
Well, just we've gotten into fights.
Over toppings on a pizza? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember either.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like egg on my pizza.
No, I got heated. Very heated.
What was it about? I don't remember.
Pineapple, as always, and I think somebody eventually pulled out a switchblade and cooler heads prevailed.
It wasn't good, yeah.
It got close. Pizza prices.
Well, pizza prices.
Like Jamie's never going to agree.
Jamie will never.
But he'll continue to just add on to the bill.
The Flyers goalie situation.
That's one.
Yeah. JT Remuto.
That's probably one.
Well, there'll be a resolution to that.
We'll see.
Because there are things, sort of like the Scott Kingery argument, that it ends up finally someone relents. Because someone at some point will relent. There's 3 more years on that deal. Someone will relent. I'll bide my time. I'll bide it. But he says we need a board. I like it. I like it. It's all right. Just
Jonathan Gannon, your love.
Yes, as the fan boy or fan club of Jonathan Gannon. The restraining order, by the way, has not been renewed. So I can...
You have a reprieve.
I can get back on that bandwagon. So as we start this hour of the show, Adam Schefter joins us in a moment or two. So stay tuned for that. The 76ers goodbyes are coming. And I doubt that anybody is going to be shedding too many tears on most. If Matisse Thybulle leaves, here's Connor crying. I'm going to regret his lack of personal development. If Furkan Korkmaz leaves, I'm wondering what someone saw in him to want him that the Sixers obviously were never able to get out of him. But if Tobias Harris leaves, I'm going to wonder if it's the right decision. Because I don't know if they're going to be better next year without Tobias. Tobias as a 4th option is pretty slick. But the money might end up not being workable because you're going to pay what you're going to pay to keep James Harden around. Is there any potential 76ers goodbye that you think you might end up dreading? Because I do believe the Tobias Harris decision, if they part ways with him and they get somebody to take his contract and he moves on, that this team might not be better next year, missing him on this roster. I think it's very cavalier. People are like, well, get rid of Tobias. Huh?
Yeah.
You better hope. That's a lot of scoring you got to replace.
If you do get rid of him, what are you getting back? Is it that star caliber Connor mentioned earlier, Bradley Beal, whoever it may be, a star player, I put in air quotes, or are you getting a bunch of good pieces? Labeling good pieces as you're going to need a starting 3, a shooting 3 on this team right now. You're also going to need some kind of adrenaline off the bench because they just don't have that right now. You need a backup point guard because you don't have that right now. There's a lot of things that you need. It'll be interesting to see the way they go.
Anybody, though, that you think if they leave, you're going to go, ooh, I'm not sure that's a good move. Because Tobias, I'm clearly there. I'll put it out there right now. If Tobias leaves, I think you may take a step back as a team.
You might, but I'm depending on the return. Like if they're loading it up with bench pieces, it depends on who those bench pieces are. I don't necessarily. I'm not itching to see him go, but how much of that is he wasn't horrible in the playoffs? Because during the season he was, I feel like an absentee Sixer at times. He didn't really know what his role was. He didn't know where he fit. Then they trade for James Harden. But he did have a strong playoff, so
he was really good in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I wonder how much.
I think it was their best effective scoring option.
I wonder if how much of our reluctance is the fact that our last memory of him is being one of the more productive members of the team, a team that floundered in the second round again. Because I think if you would have asked this question in March or April, we have a completely different answer. It's Tobias, see ya. Thanks. You're a good player, but you're overpaid, and you can get us some pieces and blah blah blah.
At that point we hadn't seen the Harden disappearing act.
We hadn't.
So people were still jumping on up and down about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you can get Tobias Harris to comfortably play at a 17-point-a-game clip like he did in the playoffs, contribute. He was decent defensively. Contribute some pretty decent defense there. That's a really, really nice foursome that you have set up there in Harden, Embiid, Maxey, and Harris. If you do take that away, look, you're looking to fill in 2 starters and 2 or 3 bench pieces. Like, you have a lot of things that you have to get.
I don't know how you could be better. I honestly don't know how getting a bunch of bench pieces makes you better losing Tobias.
It just makes you a deeper team.
But you're missing 2 starters then.
But yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it's easier to find bench pieces than a starter.
Right. I know you're gonna be really upset when the Thybulle jersey has to go, Connor, because that's not one you can wear again.
Nah, I mean, you could.
No, you're going to look like a.
Could. I can wear whatever jersey I want.
You're going to look stupid.
Pat's wearing
it's all right.
Philly jerseys from 1972. I mean, I can break out one.
Yeah, but that's Pat's brand.
That's a good point.
If you're
not
short,
your brand.
If you're short 2 starters,
you're in big trouble.
And you can say you can add depth, but if you're short 2 starters, I don't know how much bench matters. I can't just plug in 2 guys alongside of Maxey and Embiid and Harden and think that that's okay when you're losing a guy that's capable of scoring 20, 25 a night, not every night, but on a night when you may need it, Tobias Harris is. So if I am trading Tobias Harris, I think I need to get a star in return as opposed to depth pieces.
We'll find out what happens because the NBA draft is tomorrow night. Devon Givens is going to have you covered with it here on The Fanatic, and obviously we'll be talking about it again tomorrow. It is interesting, though. I watched a little mock draft yesterday that they were doing on – Bob, I wrote down every player that I didn't have to Google through the Sixers pick at 23. So I went, how many players did I have to Google to go – I don't even know who they are in the mock draft.
Yeah, and it is. It's weird. We talked about it yesterday. How just unfamiliar a lot of us are with a lot of pieces. And is it because you look at games a different way? Does it have to do with pandemic hangover, so to speak, because there was just so little TV to see?
They got to 23, and I had to Google 10 names.
Yeah. Yeah,
I literally was like, I don't know who that is. I don't remember watching them play. And that, for me, college basketball, I actually love college basketball regular season better than NBA. I did.
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
There's one name, the kid Wendell Moore Jr. from Duke, that I think I've seen in a couple of mock drafts that might be around when the Sixers are ready to pick. I like that kid. I've seen him play a lot. I know who he is. I've seen his game. I think the kid, if we go to the front of the draft, the kid Boncaro from Duke, I think that kid's going to be a stud. He's not a great three-point shooter as of yet. He's 19 years old. He's got the body of a man. I think he's going to be really good. And I'll make another little prediction. This Chet Holmgren kid from Gonzaga.
You're going to pass on him? I
am.
You and Kendrick Perkins.
Oh, is that right?
I think you're both going to pass.
The physicality of the game is
pencil. He's like a pencil.
Yeah, and that it sounds so easy to say. Like the blocks that he had in college were real cool, like 2-step jumps. Like you go up once, you miss it, you go back up real quick. He's very, very good at that. NBA guys go through you. They don't just allow you to get that second jump and get a nice, easy little touch the ball, and it's a blocked shot. So I don't know how he's going to translate.
Hey, check out College Ave student loans. Summer is a crazy time if you've got a college-bound student. I know we do in our house. And I want to know what that loan's going to look like when it's done, so she's not coming back later going, Dad, what did I sign for? Learn now. Go to collegeave.com. Take the stress of how you're going to pay for all of it at College Ave Student Loans. You can check that out. We have Adam Schefter going to join us here on the Comcast Business Hotline. He's coming up. And we now enter into vacation time. Most of the NFL franchises now sort of shutting it down, where they will get people out of the building. So, the coaches go on vacation. They head on out there and take care of business. So we probably do end up into a very much more quiet time. And Adam joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day, so get ready for what's next. Adam, it seems like a lot of the franchises now go into shutdown mode. Mm-hmm. What do these coaches do? Do they really get away? Are some of them still getting into the office, or do people really get away?
No, I think people really get away. I mean, look, these guys go so hard during the season, and once the end of July rolls around, they're in there 7 days a week, basically, all hours of the day. And so I really, I'm sure there are exceptions. There may be some stragglers that stick around, and people who maybe aren't married, don't have families, don't have children, whatever it may be, and feel like that's where they're most happy. But I think by and large, coaches clear out. They go on vacation. They spend time with their families that they don't get to spend here for the next 4, 5, 6 months. So, no, I think most people are gone.
We are very, very happy that the Eagles did not go the route of Deshaun Watson, and they weren't even really in the mix with it because it doesn't seem like he wanted to be there. How much of a black eye does this situation and the Daniel Snyder now situation that's evolving, how much of a black eye in the league PR-wise do you think that could potentially happen since it's all happening during the quiet time?
Well, I mean, look, these are unique situations, right? But there's always something swirling around the NFL, right? I mean, whatever it is, there's always some sort of controversy. This is obviously unique and different, sensitive, all those things like that. But I think the NFL is always used to dealing with something. Now, these two particular situations, there are some parallels, and I think it'll be interesting to see. I know that the discipline in the CBA isn't the same for a player as it is for an owner, but if they go through in the investigation in Washington and uncover certain things, and Deshaun's disciplined in a certain way that others aren't, I think there's going to be a lot of people that try to connect dots, make connections, parallels, whatever it may be, right? And so we're going to see how the league handles something like this that obviously is very significant and important.
Shefty, we've seen how the Eagles are handling or have handled OTAs and talking about practice and not using all of their allotted time to get on the field because that's what Nick Sirianni deems best for this team. Is that becoming a trend throughout the league? I don't know practice schedules of all the other teams in the NFL, but do you see more teams taking less time to preserve bodies as opposed to getting out on the field with all of the allotted time that they are allowed?
Well, you know what's interesting about that is that the new CBA cut back on the number of practices and sessions that every team could have. And initially, coaches weren't all that enthralled with that idea. But even as those sessions and practice times were cut back, then teams, I think, have adapted and wound up cutting back more. Like you see teams at training camp all the time, we're going to cancel this practice, or instead of this practice, we're taking our team on a whitewater rafting trip, bowling, whatever it may be. So I think it goes to show that as much as these coaches love to practice it, that all these sessions may not be as important as everybody's always made them out to be. It's also come so far over time. Like I remember when I was out in Denver in the early '90s, and I would go to training camp for the summer. Training camp, first of all, would be 3-4 weeks, and it would be 2-a-day practices.
Yes.
Multiple days a week. Like, I don't want to say every day because that might be too... Well, they would practice twice a day. I would say 5 days a week.
And then it was 2, and then the next day you could go 1, and then the next day you could go 2 again.
Well,
they went into that where they eased up a little bit.
Yeah, John, I'm just telling you, I remember going to Greeley, northern Colorado in the early 90s, and it seemed like it was 2 every day.
It was back then, yes.
And it always seemed like, the way I remember it, one was in pads and real heavy hitting, and the other was a little more laid-back practice, but it was every day. Every day, basically. The players would get a day off, but these guys would clobber each other. And I remember going around my first year at ESPN, which would have been the summer of 2009, going around to training camps, and I remember the one training camp that stood out to me that was absolutely the most physical, with the most hitting, was the Philadelphia Eagles under Andy Reid. Those guys were clobbering each other. Now, maybe it was just the day I was there, but wow, they were getting after it. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's just, you don't see that in today's day and age. There's a lot more preservation, a lot more mental reps, emphasis on other things in practice. But practices they used to be so physical. These guys would pound each other.
Adam, with the dead period going on, as we talked about with coaches, what do? Obviously, your workload during the season is insane, so I'm sure you like to take a step back. But on a day like this, when there's not a ton of news coming out, what exactly do you do to kind of bide your time?
Well, today I'm actually involved in 2 charity functions. I'm emceeing 2 charity functions that I put on the calendar.
Excellent.
Back in the day. So both are in New York City, so I'm headed to the city today to MC 2 different fundraisers, one from 11 to 1:30, another from 4 to 6:30 today. And so that's an example where you go and do things on a day like this that you ordinarily wouldn't get to do, right? So
do you like doing that? Are you comfortable up there, sort of like emceeing a thing like that? Because I don't know, I don't know you enough doing that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely comfortable doing that. I mean, that's not an issue. You know, the whole issue on these things is time, always scheduling.
Sure.
Right. Like, so during the season, if there's ever any time where something like this is possible, it's really hard during the season to take a day to go somewhere to do this, to go to the city. You don't want to be in the middle of a function for 2.5 hours, and all of a sudden you missed a text that somebody got traded,
sure.
somebody got hired, fired, whatever it may be. And so I try to do some of these things, this time of the year. Like during the year, I with people and charities, I used to invite some people to ESPN and bring them up there and auction that off, and ESPN doesn't really allow that, and we don't go to ESPN. So what I do these days is I do like a 30-minute fantasy football call that we've auctioned off, and so I get a day where literally I call back like 14 different charities that we auctioned off these things for, and I just sit in front of my phone and do that all day. So I mean, those are some of the things you do, and honestly, it's just nice not to have to do. My life doesn't change much. Like, honestly, I'll still get calls from people that I know around the league, or I'll work out in the morning and talk to people in the afternoon and hang out with your family. And I haven't played my first round of golf in a year. I'm going to try to do that in the next couple of weeks, maybe get out there 2-3 times. Things like that, just to kind of stay busy.
The one thing I'm looking at with the Eagles, the start of the show today, looking at that Eagles defensive depth chart, and how they have managed to find 4 veteran players to plug into a defense that was 12th in points allowed last year, and then still you then draft Jordan Davis. You've gotten a Kobe Dean. That depth chart looks so much different for Jonathan Gannon. I wonder how much of a different Jonathan Gannon we'll see this year. Will we see one who is a little more creative, a little more aggressive, now that he's been given, I guess, the ingredients to cook the meal, to use a Bill Parcells?
Well, look, I mean, the more assets a coach is given, the more talent he has, the more he's able to shine. And I don't know that he'll be able to do that much more. Who knows? But certainly the defense should play better with all the talent it has. I think coaches do what coaches do. It's up to the defense to elevate its performance, and this defense looks like it certainly has the chance to be able to do that. Now we'll see whether the guys can get it done.
Shefty, we had Dick Vermeil in studio yesterday, Hall of Fame coach, obviously.
Awesome.
And just talking to him about his changes from his coaching career when he started with the Eagles, just hard as nails and in the office 24/7, and then lightening up through the years and ultimately winning the Super Bowl. Is there a big difference in coaching from when you first started covering the league to where it is now in kind of comparison to what Vermeil talked to us about yesterday?
First of all, I remember Gary Smith, the great Gary Smith, the writer.
Oh, yeah. I worked with him.
I'll tell you a funny story about him, but he did a lengthy takeout on Dick Vermeil that ran in Sports Illustrated that I would literally read over and over when I was in college, like just to study. Like, it was incredible. It was so good. And so, I remember Dick Vermeil coming to ESPN, having the chance to meet somebody like that, and they were talking about the burnout factor and how hard he went. And when you talk about the coaches today, I think the main difference, and I'd be curious to know what the coaches of today would say, is just the technology around them is different. So they're able to do things on the computer and see things video-wise that, back in the day wasn't as easy, like anybody else. I think that's a change. But in terms of how hard these guys go, scaling back the hours, that doesn't happen. I mean, some of the guys try to be smarter about it, and some guys, I mean, there have been some coaches around the league who don't work around the clock like a Dick Vermeil, like some others. But I think coaches are wired basically one way, and that's just to basically pour everything they have into it as much as they can at all hours of the day, anytime they can, to me.
Will you get 99-cent pizza when you're in the city today? You've done the 99-cent slice. You've done it. It's great.
Yeah. No. Listen, you'd be hard pressed to go find bad pizza anywhere, whether it's 99 cents or $2.99. Okay,
Exactly.
I don't care what it is. Like, I mean, any pizzeria. Like, I did a charity event a few months back, driving back, and I was in an Uber, and I said to the guy, I'm like, hey, just pull over. Next pizzeria, just pull over. I need to eat a slice. I got to get a slice.
Excellent.
And I mean, that's what you do.
You take care of that. Take care of that today. Good work with the charities today, Adam, and enjoy a little bit of giving back a little bit. That's great.
Well, it's just what it is. It's a quieter, slower time, but
love it.
The life doesn't change much. I mean, it's still the same stuff.
Your phone. Put the phone down. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
We
Have a great
appreciate
day.
it.
Thanks, Shefty.
Adam Schefter putting the phone down there on the Comcast Business Hotline. He's got the two phones.
Pat getting personal. Tell me,
like that,
what is it that you actually do to earn your money?
I like that, though.
Good job, Pat.
I don't think...
You took us behind the curtain.
Yeah, some people probably didn't like the question, but look, it's not a lot going on.
And
so I want to know exactly what he does during the day when there's nothing going on. That's the busiest guy probably.
Now Shams
in reporting and
never takes a day off.
Well, that was kind of my point was. I find that hard to believe.
No, Shams
doesn't take a day off.
Shams only sleeps 4 hours a day and never takes a day off.
The legend of Sham continues to grow. Yeah,
exactly. And he's the one telling it. Hey, the beach, the boardwalk, and the boat on the bay at Bet Parks. You've got the Bet Parks app down at the Jersey Shore. You got to be 21 and in New Jersey. You can be anywhere in Jersey. You can even be in Bob's neighborhood. You have a gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to get up on that beer drinking, Bob, by the way.
I'm doing my best. No, actually, I'm not. No,
not helping out enough?
Not having any beers this week.
Not helping out?
No, sorry.
No, wait a minute.
Jersey, you're going to have my back on this.
Wait a minute. No beers with Bob sounds sucky. It sounds like the worst show ever.
Yeah.
No beers with Bob.
I told you, I like to sweat during the day, and I feel like I'm killing it at night if I'm drinking beer. So I'm trying to work out during the day and not drink at night.
All right, that's good. That sounds
just
good.
For a little bit, Pat. Don't worry, I'll be back.
I'm worried about you.
It's okay.
This is your brand.
It is. Bob drinking beer is the brand. Exactly. Hey, the Phillies close out their 2-game set this afternoon. We'll get to that next. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Guys, I know that many of you strive for gold in your life. You think gold, the gold watch, the gold medals is everything you want. What if I told you shoot for the platinum? With my friends from Manscaped. I'm telling you, have you been doing the below-the-waist grooming? If you haven't, sometimes people notice. I'm just telling you. And Manscaped has got the best deal for you. Join the 4 million plus men, plus me, who go to manscaped.com and take advantage of the 20% off plus the free shipping with the code 975. The brand new Platinum Package 4.0, it's the biggest bundle they've ever offered. And you're going to get a bulk discount on Manscaped's topped products. It's a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And they designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. If you've been ignoring self-grooming down there, my friends at Manscaped are going to make you look your best for the summertime. I'm telling you, it can be appreciated. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use the code 975 at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping. Manscaped.com. Use code 975 and go get your platinum package.
The John Kincade Show.
Listen, I like kids, but this is not a kid's environment. This is like HBO. No limits.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
June is National Men's Health Month. 97.5 The Fanatic and Iron Mountain Men's Health are committed to your well-being. Did you know sleep apnea occurs in about 25% of men compared to 10% of women? Having obstructive sleep apnea increases your risk of high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. To help prevent sleep apnea, maintain a healthy weight, moderate alcohol consumption, and refrain from smoking. Stay tuned for more tips on how to live a long and healthy life, presented by Iron Mountain Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Avidan Appel. Would it surprise you to hear that for every hour of quality sleep lost, your testosterone level decreases by a significant amount? If you're waking up in the morning feeling unrefreshed, fatigued, or tired, your testosterone levels need to be checked and could be low due to sleep apnea. Visit us online today at ironmountainmenshealth.com to schedule your free consultation with me, Dr. Avidan Appel, founder of Iron Mountain Men's Health. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's health.
The Fanatic's Business of Sports is powered by Pico for Business.
Next month marks the 11-year anniversary when Josh Harris and his investment company paid just $280 million to Comcast for your Philadelphia 76ers. Although many debate whether the process has been or ever will be considered a success, no one can argue the investment was an off-the-charts financial success. According to a 2021 Forbes ranking of NBA teams' worth, the Sixers rank number 10 with an estimated value of $2.45 billion, giving Josh 10 times his investment in just 11 years. Businesses of all sizes are learning valuable financial incentives from PECO to save energy and reduce costs in lighting, heating, and cooling systems, and more. Benefit from lower operating costs, less maintenance, and reduced overhead when you invest in higher efficiency equipment. See how these valuable incentives from PECO can make your business more profitable today at PECO.com/business.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Did you know that shapes have sounds? This is the sound of a square. Because it's Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef served up on those hot and juicy hamburgers. And this is the sound of a circle. Not the Arctic Circle, but a circle of frozen beef that's flash frozen somewhere else. And this is the sound of a triangle. Anyway, when you want hot and juicy hamburgers, go for the square at Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Car shoppers, with light inventories and heavy markups, is it even possible to find a fair deal out there? To be sure, Faulkner Buick GMC in Westchester is the region's trusted name for selection and savings. With no markups and nothing priced above MSRP. Fair, honest pricing has been our way for over 30 years. Find the perfect vehicle, whether you pre-order or drive it off the lot today at Faulkner Buick GMC in Westchester on Auto Park Boulevard and at FaulknerAuto.com. To be sure.
If you're a small business, there are lots of choices when it comes to your internet and technology needs. But when you choose Comcast Business Internet, you choose the largest, fastest, reliable network. You choose advanced security for total peace of mind. And you choose fiber solutions with speeds up to 10 gigs available to more small businesses than any other provider. That's virtually everywhere we serve. The choice is clear. Get unbeatable business solutions from the most innovative company. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
Health Partners Plans wants to help you see more clearly. That's why we offer free eyeglasses and contact lenses to our Medicaid members of all ages. We know that wearing prescription eyeglasses or contact lenses can help improve your visibility, but did you know it can also reduce strain on your eyes that may be leading to other health concerns? Health Partners Vision benefits cover eyeglasses or contact lenses in addition to annual eye exams. To learn more about HPP, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit us online at hpplans.com. When it comes to your vision, be sure to give it a look.
It is going to be an epic battle for first place in the Eastern Conference as our Philadelphia Union take on the stinking New York City Football Club. It's this Sunday, 6 o'clock, down at Subaru Park. The Union just 1 point behind New York City, so a win, and the Union are going to take over that top spot in the East. Have you been down to a Union match yet at Subaru Park? If the question is no, my next question to you is why not? The crowd, they're crazy. They're all led by the Sons of Ben. They banging their drums. They're chanting the entire match. There is not a bad seat in the house either down at Subaru Park. One of the best soccer stadiums in the country. I've been to a ton of matches, and I can tell you from experience. The Philly, they are certainly a 5-for-5 city, and the Union is led by our local guy, Jim Curtin, who actually listens to our morning show. What do you say, Jim? So if you're looking for tickets to the Union's match this Sunday against New York City, just go to PhiladelphiaUnion.com and grab yourself a pair of tickets and help cheer on the Union as they look for the top spot in the Eastern Conference.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
We are no longer new and different. We're just different. The John Kincade Show returns
on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Little cooking with Cooney coming up, too. Bob's going to teach you something else that you can do to master the grill, master the kitchen.
Practiced it last night, as a matter of fact, John.
Be a king in your kingdom.
Yes. Master of your domain, Pat.
You can do all those things. Hey, cast a line, pull a net, dinner served. That's their idea of waterfront dining in Maine. Bring your appetite. Visit Maine.com. This message sponsored by the Maine Office of Tourism. So we can do that. Dean Boardman's listening, Pat. One of your biggest fans as you promote Temple University every single day.
I was actually just texting a guy from Temple.
Yes, he
covers the athletic department there.
That's
John
very good.
DeCarlo from owlscoop.com.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I was texting him. He does a great job. They have a podcast there, The Scoop. So if you're a Temple fan. But you had texted me yesterday about their over-under.
Their over-under.
For their football team.
Temple's over-under. Connor, first year, new coach. What's the over-under for Temple football if you bet it right now?
7.5.
I can't believe this. 2.5.
And what did I tell you?
What? It's ridiculous.
What did I tell you?
Pound the over.
Pound it.
I mean, seriously.
Pound it hard.
The over-under is 2.5. Now, there's a new coaching staff.
It's a new regime.
And they're going to change some things up. And Temple has a history of when they change football coaches, it's a bad first run.
Yeah, it'll take some time to grow the program. Stan Drayton's doing a tremendous job on the recruiting trail.
He is.
I think he's already been better than Rod Carey at that department, but
no, he wants to recruit.
Yeah, and that's
you see that. Pat,
that does help. That does help.
It really helps.
Oh, hey, we're supposed to have camps and have kids in.
Yes, you're supposed to do.
Seems like they got the right guy, but look, they're not going to win 7 games, but they'll win 3.
They'll win 3. But Dean Boardman was asking me. He goes, "I hear you talk about college loans in the morning." Which he gives full thumbs up to. He goes, "Do I have to hear about your personal grooming, though?" I'm just saying, Dean. It can sometimes get you, a little. You can go from being like Dean Boardman's like an 8.5, but you can go to a 9 with some good personal grooming with the Manscaped stuff.
Is his name Dean or is he the Dean?
Oh, he is the Dean.
Okay.
He's Dean David Boardman.
Just wanted to clarify.
Well, Dean David Boardman, it's the reason that a lot of us walk out of the studio when that read comes up because we are right on board with you.
Yeah, you don't see it, but John takes his pants off and starts showing us.
Well, I should look at these lines.
The different designs.
Look at these lines.
He's shaved in there.
Look at the fine lines you can do with that.
He shaved a G and an H in there for General Hospital's anniversary.
Today, by the way, because of the delay the other day, the 15,000th episode today.
Thought it was yesterday.
No, it was because they're one day behind because of the, I guess last week they were showing the hearings. And so it delayed it. So it is today, though, the 15,000th episode of General Hospital today. Phillies will close out a 2-game set right after General Hospital today. So 4:05. So you can see today's episode, then roll right on over to see the Phillies this afternoon. A 4:05 set that Connor has already guaranteed win. Lock win, Connor.
Lock it in.
My $18 and something is on the line.
Absolutely. And if not, Pat will refund it.
I love after. Okay. Wait a minute. Why would Pat be responsible?
Pat's my that guy.
I'll be a foxhole guy.
Yeah, you would.
Attaboy.
The Phillies close out the 2-game set, but I love this so much. Afternoon baseball. I absolutely love afternoon baseball. I wish there was a way that it was more profitable for Major League Baseball to have more games in daytime because I look so forward waking up in the morning going, oh, wait, there's afternoon baseball today.
It was, as you guys, it was my thought this morning that there's afternoon baseball today, and that's when I put my feet on the floor when I thought about that good thought. I do. I absolutely love it. The game will be over by 7 o'clock.
Awesome.
You have NHL playoffs tonight also, so you can give that a look, whatever you want. Maybe you have a favorite Wednesday show that you like to watch. whatever it may be. But an afternoon baseball game. Now, it's going to be 100 degrees down in Arlington today.
Well, they have the air conditioner on.
They'll have the air conditioner running. Maybe the ball will be flying for the Phillies a little bit today. Here's hoping. But you do need a win today. I know you're guaranteeing it, but you need it. I don't want to go out of there 0-2.
No.
Three-game losing streak.
You'd be 0-4 this year against one of the worst teams. Well, not one of the worst teams in baseball, but a bad team.
Yeah.
You'd be 0-4 against them, and that would be miserable. Absolutely awful.
It's unacceptable. You're playing a bad team. I don't care. I mean, look at the roster. Look at the standings. They're not good. So you need to avoid the letdown. You can accept a split in a 2-game series.
Yes,
hey, we
that's
threw
fine.
a clunker in, fine. When you get swept, that's troubling. So they just can't let it happen. As I said, Harper looks like he's back in the lineup. Rob Thompson said that last night. Appears Rob Thompson just said, I can't do this lineup anymore without him. So he'll be back in. We'll see how much that blister affects him. But I'm leaning towards Connor. I don't think that they lose this game.
I was surprised.
Well, I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah,
it would be a letdown.
I was surprised Camargo stayed in the game last night. Did you guys notice on the first strikeout where his swing is so long, but he was grabbing his left shoulder after the swing? I thought he was. I didn't think he was going to make it through the game.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what forward moving here because injuries are starting to just creep up a little bit.
It's that time of year, though.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
kind of when you get it. And the nice thing is they have an off day every single week leading up to the All-Star break. So it takes some time.
Great point.
Jalen Ferguson died.
Yeah, I just
From the
saw
Ravens.
that before our last break.
Now, I mean, how old's Jalen Ferguson?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Louisiana State or not Louisiana State, Louisiana Tech? Maybe I could be wrong on that. Might be Troy. But Jalen Ferguson, man, that's a unexpected.
Yeah, starting line.
Hope everything's all right.
Starting linebacker for
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Just horrible. And the day after the news that the kid Swanigan died of natural causes from the NBA at 25. Hate to hear it. Awful, awful, awful.
Terrible news.
Yeah.
Hey, join the John Kincade Show as we cheer on the Birds in Arizona. You can reserve your spot now with a small deposit at phillysportstrips.com. phillysportstrips.com. That is where you travel with the pros. All right, Bobby, let's get cooking.
Fire up the grill and prepare to wow your dinner guests. It's time for Cooking with Cooney.
Love this.
All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about searing. Okay, searing. It is a vital part of grilling, of cooking in general, but especially grilling, because one of the things that happens when you grill way too much, and if this happens to you, this might be the solution for you, is that your meat gets a little bit too dried out.
I hate my dry meat.
Yeah, like you might throw it on the grill and you take it off and you slice it and you're like, what happened? Where is it? Where is it? What's going on?
Where's it going? Right.
Here's the key. And I did it last night, and I told you about it last night, John. I had a pork loin last night, a couple pound pork loin. That pork is a kind of meat that gets dried out very, very easily.
Especially those pre-seasoned ones.
Yes.
Which is my wife loves to buy.
Yes, I didn't have a pre-seasoned one. And the problem there is with the pre-seasoned ones, with the marinated one, the moisture in it prohibits you a lot of times from getting a good sear on it because there's simply too much moisture. That's why a lot of times you're told to make sure your meat is nice and dry before you throw it on the grill or before you do anything with it. So what I did with my pork loin last night was I dried it out really good, paper towels, all of that stuff. I put a nice rub on it. But what I did before I put it on the grill was this. I put a little bit of olive oil into a nice sized pan, heated up the olive oil with a little bit of garlic, waited for that to cook and saute for about a minute. Then what I did for about 10 minutes overall was I throw my pork loin in that to get a nice sear all over the pork loin.
Is that like crispy? Is that like sort of like
the
that light crispy
dark
coating?
brown coating? Yes. And you're going to keep it on one side maybe 5 minutes and then get it to the other side for 5 minutes and make sure you get all the increments in between. Get a nice sear on there.
Okay.
Then you can take it off and you can take it to your grill now in order not to dry it out. You want to cook low and slow on a grill. So it means start your grill, but don't put it on high temperature because you already have that sear. What you want it to do is cook through and let the moisture stay in. So when you do something like that, put it on the grill on a low. Now, if you have a charcoal grill and you want to sear it on the charcoal grill, make one side really, really hot. There's your sear for about 10 minutes. Put it on the other side for maybe 20 minutes, a lower side, and let it cook nice. I did that last night. I did the sear and then low and slow. And then, of course, you have to let it rest. You have to always let your meat rest when you take it off a grill. 10, 15 minutes. I did that, covered in foil. You take it out. I started slicing it, John.
15 minutes in foil
15
afterwards.
minutes in foil afterwards off of the grill because you need the juices to coagulate. Coagulate. Wow, I butchered that. But that's what you need. That's what the juices need to do. And then, honest to God, last night, it might have been one of the best porks I've ever made. And you said it earlier today. You're not a big pork guy.
I'm not a big fan of the pork tenderloin at all.
I'm not unless it's good. And I'm telling you, this was phenomenal last night. So just think about it. The more that you cook a meat, you want to get that good sear on it because basically it's like a cover for your whole meat. You put that sear on it. Cook it low and slow, whether you're on a charcoal grill, whatever kind of grill you're on, and you're going to get that perfect tenderness and juiciness that you're going to love.
Do you put steak? Steve wants to know, and I sort of had the same question. Are you saying that you take steaks off the grill and put them under tinfoil and let them sit for
Oh, absolutely.
You do?
Oh, absolutely.
See, now I'm afraid of the steak I'm a medium. I like my steak medium.
Well, you can...
Hot pink center. I do not want it to be gray at all. I'm always afraid that it's going to... If I did that, it's going to continue to cook.
It does continue to cook.
I don't want that.
That means you have to take it off the grill earlier. That's all.
Okay.
You get your nice sear. Now you're probably only cooking 3 minutes aside if you want that nice medium. Probably 3 minutes aside, obviously depending on the thickness of your steak. Take it off, let it sit. Because if you start cutting right as you take it off, juices flow out, you're screwed.
There you go.
Want the juice to stay in there so it's nice and moist.
I'm going to try some of these things. It's cooking with Cooney.
What does a grill drive its car with? The steering wheel.
You know,
Pat,
even
this
in
is
spite
usually
of
when
that,
we turn it over to you and you.
That was a pretty
on
good segment you guys had last week when I was off, when you
The
did the
dad
old
jokes
man
one?
jokes. Yeah, I was going out to do something and I heard that. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, and someone won a nice $100 gift card too.
Yeah, that was all right. That was horrible what Connor just did.
Connor's
a good one.
Look, every once in a while, I need to remind people why I'm here. And we have Connor come in, and all of a sudden, the listening audience goes, Hagen's not that bad. And in moments like what Connor just did, it's a foxhole move, but it is who he is, and he reminds people.
It's the steering wheel, Pat, because it sounds like steering, but it's actually searing, which is what a grill does.
That is absolutely awesome. Did you see the story of the kid in Anaheim? So this guy, who I'm guessing is probably like 20 years old or so, catches a home run ball. And he's like the fourth row over the wall. And he sees a little kid in the first row that had brought his glove. Mm-hmm. He catches the home run ball and he looks down and he says to the kid here, and he tosses him the home run ball. And this kid totally is like, just his day is made. And then later in the game, a home run ball comes to the kid. And the little kid gets it. And then he turns around and gives it to the kid that gave him the ball.
Love it.
It just brings a smile to your face.
Sure it does.
Like
being nice is fun.
Like that. That's great kindness.
See, that's why Juris Familia has to stay on the Phillies, so that they can hopefully get a moment like that where they give up 2 home runs to the exact same part of the park.
No more.
Did you see the Reese Hoskins story where he kind of got called out by Washington media, where apparently he had a foul or he had a ball in his hand?
Yeah.
And he went to hand it to the kid. And the kid went to take it, and he took it back and threw it in the dugout?
It wasn't a kid. It was like a guy.
It was?
Like early 20s.
It was just like early 20s.
Oh, okay. The thing that I read said it was a kid. And it wasn't
no, it was not a kid.
Oh,
but the guy looked maybe late teens at the youngest.
Yeah, and hey, that's a life lesson. That's good on Reese. Life isn't going to hand you everything. Sometimes it rips it away from you, too.
Sometimes life lessons are delivered a little more bluntly from Pat Egan. As he gives us Pat's point of view.
This is Pat's point of view.
Sometimes
Here's Pat.
Here's Pat.
And this is what I mean. Like, Connor's such a foxhole guy that he does the delay, which is something that I'm known for.
You like the little delay, right?
It's your calling card.
He wants people to feel comfortable in the show, and he knows that not being ready for a segment is my brand, so I do appreciate that. So look, as you guys know, I'm not a golfer. We proved that last week.
You badmouth yourself that you're not that bad.
I'm not that good, and I don't follow the sport. More importantly, I just look. It bores the hell out of me, and I love the fact that you guys are into it.
I love it.
But other than naming maybe like 6 golfers, I don't follow it.
Okay.
But this live golf thing is interesting to me. And the latest one to defect, I'm starting to wonder at what point, and I ask you guys as golf people, at what point does the PGA start to worry, if at all? Because it just seems like every week there's a big name that I, as the non-golf fan, recognize. This isn't no-name golfers. Sure. Like, oh, yeah, I've heard of so-and-so. At what point do you think the PGA goes, okay, we might have an issue?
I think they're already there.
I think this put it over the top. It's funny you said that. When I saw the Koepka news yesterday, I was like, oh, man, they just officially started sweating.
Yeah, he's Brooks Koepka is a face of the tour. He's a top 5 face of the tour, and he's some people love him, some people don't love him, but he's a fantastic talent. I think that this is a real concern.
Yeah, up till a couple years ago, he was a majors killer.
Yes.
I mean, when you came to majors, you had to put Brooks Koepka right there. I said it, I think it was yesterday we got done the show when we heard the news, or it might have been in the middle of the show. And I said it to myself just then, Pat, this is getting really interesting now.
So I wonder how much of it is, obviously the money is, 75% of it.
Okay.
But they're already rich. And obviously rich people, the one thing they love more than being rich and telling you they're rich is more money. So they can prove that they're richer. But I do wonder, with all of the top-level talent kind of leaving the PGA, how much of it also is shifting to a little bit of competition. Where it's like, yeah, I can win these majors, but what does it matter? What does it matter if I'm winning and I'm beating these no-name guys? Like, you guys know I'm a huge MMA fan.
Sure.
UFC doesn't pay their fighters really anything compared to some of the other promotions. But people want to come to the UFC because they know it's the best talent. So they know that if they're the UFC champion, they're the best.
It means something.
Doesn't matter that they're getting $200,000 and you could win $1 million over at PFL. They're the best. I'm wondering if golf is going to be shifting similar direction where, yeah, the money's great and that's cool. But if you're the top dog, like Colin Morikawa was a guy who said, I'm not going over.
Right.
But at what point does he go, okay, this isn't fun anymore. I'm dummying no-namers. And if that happens at all, I might just be looking down the line.
I think the first guys that, and some of them are already facing companies walking away from them because some American companies actually have a conscience and know that they're getting paid directly by people who funded worldwide terrorism. So there will be companies that will walk away, and that's what's going to change things. But they have to balance out, is the money I'm going to make on the Live Tour, if I lose $2 million this year from Nike or lose $1.5 million from Under Armour, does it matter because I'm making 5 more?
Yeah, you're talking pretty much guaranteed contracts against non-guaranteed contracts. Correct. That's what it comes down to, and these guys are going for the guaranteed money. I think what it's going to I think the most interesting part for me is the Justin Thomases of the world, the Jordan Spieths of the world, the guys at Colin Morikawa, who it looks like are going to stay true to the PGA. And now you have the Brooks Koepkas and guys like that, Bryson DeChambeau, and obviously Phil and all. Those guys going over there, does it create what we talked about last week, that WWE heel guy, and I put that in air quotes, versus the good guys? And is it going to cause some kind of dislike of all of golf to the casual fan?
Because it's going to start costing guys on the PGA Tour significant money.
Yo, yeah.
Because the purses are going to go down significantly, but the television networks are not running to put Live Golf on because of their ties, because they're like, this is going to be a PR nightmare. These guys don't care
yet. I mean, I think if the talent keeps going over, eventually.
I want to know
I just watched the Cleveland Browns give Deshaun Watson how much money. Like, at some point, talent just weighs out. Bad PR is bad PR and all that, but at some point, you'll hate yourself, but you'll watch it, and it's just it's the reality of sports.
Yeah, I had an emailer last week talking to me about Saudi Arabia and us not knowing about the goings on of who's backing this league and how the PGA has a bunch of dollars set with sponsors in Saudi Arabia and stuff. And I admitted it last week. I said, look, I just surfacely is how I'm talking because I haven't dove into exactly what all LIV is because I don't think everybody knows besides the money being thrown out there. I don't know. I do hope that the guys that are joining it are knowledgeable about it.
Well, Bob, it really isn't something that's debatable as far as where they're getting the money and what the money has been tied to in the past. That's not debatable. It's a matter of...
Well, I don't know how many of the backers are, like you said, the backers, they were backers of terrorists. I don't know. Like I haven't read anything in there that exactly outlines it.
Well, this isn't 7 private citizens in Saudi Arabia deciding to fund a golf tour. This is a government, sort of assembled fund of the cash that's out there. And if they can do it, they've been rejected so far, but as Pat says, it might change. It might change if enough big names go. It might change.
Like there's weird things with it all.
It's very weird. The whole thing.
Like Jack Nicklaus, somebody said on YouTube, he designs courses in Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's so many.
He designs courses, though, but the thing is, he's not doing it for the government.
No, I hear you.
It's not the same.
I had an email last week where a guy says, our military does work for Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia, in turn, I guess, gives oil to the United States. There's so many tie-ins to all of this that I don't think it's just as cut and dry as saying this is wrong, this is right. I have to learn more, and I think everyone needs to learn more about all of it.
I'm still, and for me, it's too sensitive. Having ties to families who lost directly, losing loved ones that I know. I can't. I can't support it, but as Pat says, it could absolutely change if enough big guys go over.
Yeah, I really do think the PGA is certainly sweating.
Hey, the 76ers have a certain style, and it reminds me of another style. You may not like it. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Summer's a crazy time of year if you've got a college-bound student because there's so many decisions to make about your students' tuition, courses, housing, supplies, and otherwise. And I'm always hearing about student loans. I have to pay back these student loans, and they're so expensive. Well, that's why before you take a loan, you go to College Ave Student Loans and try to take the stress out of paying for college. CollegeAv.com is a fantastic product for you. You can see all the different loan options in action with their student loan calculator. We're talking 3 minutes to get an instant credit decision, to get your rate, and to be able to apply. You're able to build a private student loan that's going to keep pace with your family's budget now and what your student is going to be able to afford to pay after college when the bill comes due. CollegeAv.com is a better student loan experience because it relieves the stress of thinking, wait, I got a ticking time bomb on my hands in 4 or 5 years. No, when you do the work in front, you know exactly what you're going to be paying on the back end. So find success with less stress. Go to CollegeAv.com. Pay for school without the worry. That's CollegeAv.com.
The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
At T-Mobile, we believe customers should get more. And with Magenta Max, our most popular plan ever, that's exactly what you get. On Max, you get more premium data than our standard plans. That's right, unlimited premium data, so you can stay connected to what matters most. And now, with Magenta Max, you get even more savings than before. Families on Max can get 5G home internet for just $30 a month. You heard right, just $30 for reliable 5G home internet. That means Max customers save $20 a month. And you get all this on the network with more 5G bars in more places than anyone else. At T-Mobile, you get more with Magenta Max. More premium data and more savings on 5G home internet. Head to your local T-Mobile store and make the switch today.
T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Capable device required. 5G home internet availability limited. 4G options also available. Qualified accounts include regulatory fees and price. $5 more a month without autopay. See details at T-Mobile.com.
This Fanatic Golf Report is brought to you by Parks Casino Sportsbook app, the #1 casino in PA. Lots of tournament results to report. Here are some from Gap's Senior Golf Circuit. At the 88th Warner Cup at the 1912 Club, Bill Burke of Galloway National won with a 200 par 69. In the Super Senior Division at Bala Golf Club, it was Greg Osborne cruising by 6 shots with a 66. In the Legends Division, John Gonzer and Buck Jones shot 74. At the Chapman Cup at Indian Valley, it was Jeff Frazier winning in a playoff over Bob Gill. For The Fanatic, I'm Mike Rose.
'Tis the season to visit Parks Casino for the Christmas in July sweepstakes. That's right, on July 30th, Parks Casino is giving away so many great gifts it feels like Christmas in July. From 4 to 10 p.m., one lucky winner selected every 15 minutes will unwrap a present containing designer handbags, electronics, and free slot play prizes up to $10,000. Visit Parks Casino on July 30th for your chance to win. Parks Casino. This is how you win. Visit parkscasino.com for more information. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets, all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, Sausage Patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
Heard my little sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret guide.
Gross, no way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
wasn't impacted at all, so I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made the purchase.
Taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/AutoNavigator.
You probably know Progressive Insurance for insuring your home and auto. You may know Flo and Dr. Rick. But what you may not know is that Progressive helps employees support over 3,800 charitable organizations annually because we're committed to helping our employees, and our employees are committed to helping others. Anyway, we just wanted to share. We were a little too proud of it to keep it to ourselves. And if you already knew all of this about us, you've either heard this radio spot before or just randomly know a lot about Progressive. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates based on data from May 2020 through April 2021.
Worried about your air conditioner melting down this summer? Don't sweat it. Just call your independent Delaware Valley trained comfort specialist for rebates and special financing offers on a new high-efficiency air conditioning system with whole house air filtration. You'll get cooler, cleaner, and healthier air throughout your home and lower energy bills, too. To get started, visit Trane.com to find a Delaware Valley independent trained comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a train. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Summer is officially upon us, and so is a new seasonal menu at PJ Wellahans. Stop in to try some amazing items, including Big Mac tacos that'll rival your go-to fast food order and a Bloody Mary burger that'll have you feeling alive in no time after a night out.
Hey, it's Mike Miss here. You know, Philly sports is a big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports Reports, powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
I'd get the BetParks app if I was you. Connor has guaranteed a Phillies victory today. I already put like $18 down on the money line since it's a guarantee. Now, they don't guarantee you that bet, but they got a risk-free bet up to $750. All you have to do is put in the promo code Kincade. You get a risk-free bet on the BetParks app if you're in Pennsylvania or New Jersey and you're 21 years old. So if you lose, they refund the bet to you in site credit. You can check the website to get the full details. If you truly believe Connor knows what he's talking about, maybe you do put the whole $750 down. And then you're swimming in the dough. You know what you can also do? You can play the casino games. If you think that, I'm not trusting Connor, I'm going to go play a little blackjack, go play a little roulette. You can do that there. The odds, the bets, the slots, the games all come together in perfect harmony. And with the baseball season still in absolute full swing, you want to get yourself set up before football season, too, because you're going to want to be on the BetParks app all the time. Use my promo code Kincade. Again, you got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. The John Kincade Show.
I watch TV, I play video games, and then I go to happy hour.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Pat rolled up this morning to this. Blasting it in the parking lot. It's like 5 a.m. Lower Merion police pull in and go, uh-oh, what's going on? It's just Egan rolling in. By the way, do you ever go in the exit where the Lower Merion policeman sits there with his lights on? Is he there?
Day.
He's usually there a couple days a week. Got his lights on. It always bothers me because the headlights are on, not the parking lights. So I can't see whoever's looking at me.
This is the safest parking lot in Lower Merion.
Yes, because we have doing that. Now they're building a multi-purpose court in our parking lot. It's going to be caged in, and it is going to be that material that allows you to have like a multi-purpose court that's not on the asphalt. It's going to be beautiful. Basketball and I think some other stuff too. So it'll be right out there with benches and everything.
Nice.
It's going to be nice.
I wonder how because just about every day that I would leave, there's somebody playing basketball out there. And I just wonder how the word got out. Because if you don't drive into this parking lot,
you wouldn't know.
And you don't drive over there, which is basically in the corner, you'd never know it was there.
No. And I see it because I come in there every day.
And it was up for maybe like a few days before all of a sudden you started seeing people trickle in to play basketball. And they don't work here, which is fine. I love seeing guys get out there and
sharing.
Yeah. I'll share, right?
Yeah, sure.
But I just want to stop one day and be like, where did you guys hear about this?
How did you know this?
Yeah, like how did you know it was here?
Reddit? Maybe?
I mean, the internet's a hell of a place.
I don't know. When you were younger, you could find courts.
Yeah, but they were everywhere when we were kids.
Yeah, like we used to.
Much different.
We found this court one time that had 8-foot rims. So at the end of the night when we were done doing whatever stupid things we did, we would wind up there, and it was like behind a school in the middle of nowhere, and we'd love to go up and try to dunk on these 8-foot rims. I don't know how we found it. We just did. Like, you just find courts,
You just
Pat.
travel around.
You just find courts, or they find you, maybe.
9 a.m. hours brought to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. Pat knew that. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's, and for details, go to Bagster.com. Do you need a Bagster, Pat? I can hook you up if you need one. You don't?
No, but if I do.
You're not cluttered, though? You don't have any clutter you got to get rid of?
Probably. I think everybody is probably cluttered a little bit, but it's more of like I just don't feel like doing it.
Bobby, you need a Bagster? We can get you hooked.
I think I'm pretty good.
You think you're pretty good?
Yeah, but I might, you never know. At the end of the summer when out with the hot stuff, in with the cold stuff, maybe I will.
Connor?
No, I'm good.
You're all good? You're getting ready to move, right?
Yeah, in September probably.
So you don't need a Bagster.
But I'm taking my stuff with me.
You'll take it all stuff with
I feel like you move every 6 months.
Yeah, well,
you do.
I
think you're honestly, I think you're working for the Navarros.
He's a vagabond.
You're constantly
really
moving somewhere.
I can't let people spot me down. Like, I got to know.
Can't get too settled.
Yeah, Every woman in the neighborhood starts to know who he is. And he's got to move to a new neighborhood. I think that's what it is. They've all heard the same pickup line.
He's made his way through all the bars, so now he's got to come to a new neighborhood.
Hey, the 76ers style issue remind me a lot of the critique people have for the Flyers. I personally am of the belief that the 76ers are attempting to build a championship club by playing a style of basketball that the rest of the league has rejected and has philosophically moved away from. It's not an exciting style. It's old school. It's slow. It's plodding. It's too much isolation for me. It's not based on athleticism, as Bob pointed out yesterday in one of his pieces on the show. We constantly killed the Flyers over the past generation, last 20 years, for not playing the style of hockey that the other successful teams are doing and trying to do it differently and not evolving. Yet we blindly support the Sixers strategy as, this is going to work. yeah, they can make this work. I want to know why. Why in the world the Sixers are trying to do something, and Bob, I look at it and it's not. It is rejecting common practice in the NBA or evolving practice in the NBA, and we kill the Flyers organization for that.
Well, here's the thing that drives me nuts. When you're trying to imitate other teams all the time. Yes, we talk about it a lot, about copycat leagues, and when one team does something successful, other teams are going to try to emulate it. So about, 7-8 years ago, teams tried to emulate what the Golden State Warriors were doing? Well, how stupid was that? Because you had two of the best shooters ever in the history of the league, and you also had one of the best scorers in the history of the league in Kevin Durant. So why are you trying to emulate that? That's not going to happen. I go more back to the San Antonio Spurs of old. They had David Robinson, they had Tim Duncan, and they learned how to win with that. Then Robinson retired, and they learned how to win kind of a big man isolation game with Duncan. Then they got three-pointers to surround Timmy Duncan because he was getting double and triple teamed too much, and they had a way about that, and they won more championships. Then Duncan started to slow down, and they went to this passing offense where they threw the most amount of passes in a half-court offense that's ever been thrown, and wound another championship with another style of play. To me, it's not copycat. It's not being able to win with the way the game is being played. It's figuring out the best way to play for your team with one of the best players in the league, and that's Joel Embiid. And they haven't figured it out. And I don't know if it's because
is Embiid
it's
the
not the way.
roadblock?
I won't go that far because I'm not going
to. You have to play a certain style because you've got Joel Embiid.
Yeah, there has to be some type of style that's not out there now. And as I said before, maybe it was out there before. Maybe it's the Lakers of the Showtime from way back that's the style of play that you should be looking at. There has to be a style of play. I just don't think anybody, both players and coaches, have figured out what it is with Joel Embiid yet.
Patty?
It's so frustrating because you have such a unicorn. And the fact that you go, he is and Jamie said it before, Jamie's on record. He's the most talented player Jamie's ever seen in a Sixers uniform. The fact that you can't make it work. And I just wonder, can they not make it work because of poor execution, or is it lack of patience? Because they've had rosters before where I go, that might work, and then they're so quick to change it. It didn't work for 4 months, so let's change it. And sometimes it's mitigating circumstances, like the coach and the baby point guard don't like a certain player. So, okay, fine, we'll appease these two guys and we'll ship them out and get Al Horford. But they never stick with a plan. Even how Al Horford move, and I think me and Bob are on record in agreement with this. Like, I would have been interested to see Al Horford with
Doc Rivers. No, Doc Rivers would have gotten something out of Al Horford. Would have gotten significantly
way more, right? Like, there's one coach. Al Horford's had 8-9 coaches in the NBA. There's one coach that didn't know how to use him. That's Brett Brown. With that said, I like the trade that Daryl Morey made, and I won't complain about it, but I would have been interested to see. But that's yet another face change, right? Like, that's yet another shift in philosophy. Now they bring in James Harden. It's just, I feel like the lack of patience is the reason that they are having trouble utilizing Joel Embiid.
The only problem I have is Connor, is I don't want to be patient with the assemblage they've got right now.
No.
So I'm sort of being a hypocrite. But I'm on the record as saying I think if Tobias Harris goes, this team's going to take a step back next year.
Yeah, you can't afford to be patient. Like, there is no more time to be patient with this core. It's win now, and it has been. And we're getting towards the back end of that window because, frankly, if James Harden falls off a cliff, what are you going to do? If Joel Embiid's injuries become too much, what are you going to do? Like, they need to win now, and it's not so much the window's open now. They're winning against the odds at this point. So, yeah, I'm very much past the point to be patient with anything they're doing.
Staples stores are a new world of possible. They've got innovative tools for small business, remote workers, and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or visit staplesconnect.com. I know that Taj wants to get in on the conversation. Taj, good morning. You're on The Fanatic. How are you?
How you doing, guys? Can you hear me good?
Yeah,
hey, Taj.
Hey, man. How you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah, I think, and you guys don't think you're not going to like this, I think this is strictly coaching style. Because I believe if the Sixers employ, like, not saying as drastic as this, but the triangle, or something that with big men won the championships. You just mentioned how San Antonio played. We can do it with the team, with the player that we have, they're just not coaching up to his strengths and to the best, to get the most out of him, to unlock him. I think we can figure out a system. We just got to get a coach, man, and I don't think Doc is it.
Well, Taj, we kind of agree on what we're saying. I said that they need to come up with that style of figuring out how best to use Joel Embiid, and I've said this before. Because of the way basketball has gone over the last 15 or 20 years with the shooting and all of that, a guy like Joel Embiid might be coming into a league where they just don't know how to coach him to get the most. Not that they're not getting the most out of him, but getting the most out of him on the team that he is on.
Okay, Bob, we just got a phone call. We get a phone call at 9:12 in the morning saying that Doc Rivers has decided he's going to go play Riviera, and he's tired of coaching the Sixers, and they're parting ways. And you can pick any coach in the NBA to take this current group and get the most out of them. Any coach in the NBA, you have the right. You can bring them into Philadelphia to coach. Is there a guy you think of that would go, yeah, I think he could really do great with Embiid and work with some of these pieces? And maybe
are you talking a current anybody that
anybody you want?
Yeah, there's a guy. I brought him up last year that I thought that the Sixers might have been interested in bringing him before they got Doc Rivers, and it was this kid, Chris Quinn, who's an assistant coach at Miami, who's been in the league for a long time, whose ideas about the league and people that I've talked to throughout the league just talk glowingly about him. I believe played at Notre Dame, has been on their bench for a while. A disciple of Spoelstra and, more importantly, the Miami Heat organization. I'd like to see something like that, more than a retread, more than a guy that's already out there. Like, look, are you going to say Eric Spoelstra? I don't know, Quinn Snyder?
See,
those guys.
Boy, I look at Spoelstra and I say, I bet you he could.
Yeah, you're never going to go wrong with him. But he's a defensive coach more so than anything.
And of course, I could. I'm sure we would butt heads constantly, but I love Pops as a coach.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I think he's just a brilliant master's class.
I mean, look at the examples I just gave, and I talked to him firsthand about it. They totally revamped their offensive thinking, like 3 times in a 5-year span, and still won championships. That's amazing. That's exactly what coaching is.
Hey, Martin Law is Philly's original law firm for injured workers. Schedule a free consultation today at paworkinjury.com. So we had a retirement yesterday, and I don't know if you saw the news, Bob. And Pat, it's one of those ones. It's one of those ones, Pat, that like for you, you're like, yeah, it's in a big deal because you find it boring. Nick Faldo up and quit yesterday. Did you hear that? He quit.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Nick Faldo. So, Pat, just think of if somebody associated like a Barry Melrose or a Jonesy or somebody like that walked away from the NHL after 20-some years of being a big analyst. Nick Faldo's retiring at 64.
Good. I really didn't know that.
I'm tired of all that. He says, I'm tired of all the travel.
Good for him.
And don't want to do it anymore.
He's 64. That's what you're supposed to do.
I think it's awesome, but most of the time you see people hang on to
it. Absolutely, yeah. There's a few people in this city that need to hang it up. No, I want to be forced an early retirement.
You were like that.
I'd love to be 35 and someone say, all right, it's time to pack it up.
I love Faldo on the broadcast.
So do I. And you know what? He is I think I told you, he's a really good dude. I got to meet him and interview him at Marion one time because I think he was promoting like his wine or something. I forget exactly what it was, but we were all allowed to do a sit down. So I did a one-on-one with him and we talked for like 15, 20 minutes. And I just found him to be a really nice, down-to-earth, good dude. And anytime you run into guys like that.
And he's walking away, and absolutely CBS is like, well, Trevor Immelman will replace him.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Well, I don't know his body of work.
I haven't heard much of Trevor Immelman, but I mean, it's just that's sort of.
Am I making this up, or is Nick Faldo knighted?
He's Sir Nick. He's Sir Nick Faldo. Yes,
he's Sir.
That's got to be cool. Does he have a castle waiting for him in the retirement fund?
Oh, I don't think you get a castle.
You get a crown.
For that.
Can't you buy
there's some staff?
There are some castles that are pretty cheap, right? Like,
yeah, you can buy a cheap castle.
Yeah, like
call Jamie.
Just to say you got.
Jamie's got to be staying in
Jamie's I'm sure he's sold a few in his life.
I think he's at his 3rd castle this weekend.
Like you can buy
the Summer Castle.
Like you can buy a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Did you know that?
I did not. So you just put your name on it?
You can be purchased. No. You have to have You have to have an IMDb.
Okay, no, I knew that.
But
I knew that because
you can get yourself that star.
Yeah, because a lot of times the movie companies, to promote a film, will buy the star. The star. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, yeah, and by the way, the star of the upcoming movie, Bill and Ted's blah, 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 like, they're getting a star in the Hollywood Walk
You have
of
a
Fame.
hard time now finding the stars amongst the homeless that are laying everywhere on there. It's terrible.
Yeah, I heard it's a
It is
problem.
bad. Last time we were there, I could not believe it. Couldn't believe it was like encampments over the stars. So it's what used to be a real interesting walk has gotten a lot
The
different.
last guy to get a star, I believe, was Willie Asshat.
Really? It was out of Florida?
Yeah. His agent had paid for it.
So Willie,
to up his
but
trade.
what had he done? What had
Well,
he done?
he wanted to up the
his
the
upcoming
hype.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what
The
had he
hype
done?
about
Had he
the
done,
draft.
had he done like walk-ons
He
and
was
some
an
TV
extra
shows?
in The Waterboy.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
Look, when
That's an old movie for him to have been an extra.
When you're Willie
never
Asshat,
dies.
they don't really question it.
Willie Asshat
He
was
was
in
such a
this year's
safety.
draft, though.
Yes.
They told him he could go on the have his star whenever he wanted.
Yeah.
So he just kind of
There you
blurted
go.
them and said, "I'm ready."
Living legend.
All right,
Willie's ready.
Yesterday, I was out the sports broadcasting camp. My buddy Jeremy Treatman, who I went to Temple University with, runs these great camps. Bunch of kids, and met a great group of kids from middle school age through high school age, talking to them about the industry, talking about things, and it's great with a bunch of kids going, okay, everybody, put your phones down. Put your phones down now, which was fun. And then watch them go, oh, my God, I can't put my phone down, but they did. Asking the interesting questions that I got from the next generation of media. And one of the top questions they wanted to have known, and there were a couple of them, was along the lines of, what would be your first job out of college if I go and study this? And I thought that's really cool for young kids to be smart enough. Like, I got asked by like an 8th grader or a 9th grader, like what would be my first job out of college? If I major in this, what would be? I said, I'm like, how good are you? How much have you worked? How much have you done? So here's what you got to. Here's what you got to do. The kids are so much more advanced. The amount of kids in the room that had their own YouTube channels how many of you a YouTube channel? There were probably like 15, 16. How many of you are doing like play-by-play or doing a podcast? Probably another 15, 16 out of like the 40 kids, 50 kids that were in the room. It's fun to watch the kids, but they have much more like interesting views of things. They all want to do like their own thing.
They want to be their own bosses?
Well, like they want to have their own YouTube channel that they then monetize and then make millions of dollars on and everything. They have really interesting ideas talking about like what do you want to do? And it was great as I love the answer from the one kid was like, I don't know. I said, I love that answer. I love that answer. You're like 12 years old, 14 years old. Experience it all and learn a little bit about it. But every one of them, I said, so do you listen to the show? And so a bunch of the kids raised their hand. So I start quizzing them about people on the show. They didn't know Connor's last name, but they knew Connor.
Well, I don't really have a last name. I have 2 first names.
Now,
so that's fair.
one kid said Coach Eric Camille. So he knew your whole name, which I thought was impressive. And none of them were allowed to be on their phones. One kid, he did answer the D train, which I thought was great. And I said, what's his name? And he goes, I don't know. And I said, it's Dylan. And he goes, Dylan McKinnon. And I said, right.
Go.
So he knew it. When he heard Dylan.
He's a legend.
Then he knew.
Dylan's getting his star in the Hollywood
Pat, you were
Walk
the
of Fame.
first one that the kid named.
That's
Egan.
That's not boding well for the
And
future.
the kid looked like a little gremlin, too.
Oh, okay.
He looked like a
my
little
people.
gremlin.
These are my people then.
He played
Okay,
to
I
your
understand.
demographic. But it's really interesting that these kids all want to be entrepreneurs in media because of the way they consume it. I said, for those of you who listen to the show, everyone who has their hand up that you listen to the show, how many of you watch some of the show on YouTube or watch during a normal week? And I'd say only around 20% of the hands went down. These youngsters, it's on the app. It's through Alexa. Sorry. A lot of them will listen through Alexa. And they will listen on the app, watch on YouTube. So it was just fascinating. And I love the excitement that kids have and the excitement for doing it. Neil Hartman was there. Our buddy Neil Hartman was there
What's up, Neil?
as one of the instructors. And
Grew
he
up
was
watching
doing it
him on Comcast Sportsnet.
And I had to come in and critique the kids, too, beforehand on their reading of highlights like they were on SportsCenter. And there was this one kid who's a rising ninth grader. He could be on SportsCenter today. He was that good.
And yet you criticized him?
No, I thought he was great. I told him, I said, no, but I had to offer critique. And a couple of them were, they all wanted to put in jokes into their highlight read.
I like to laugh.
That they had pre-prepared. Yeah. And every one of them invariably tripped over the joke. Trying to deliver the joke, they trip over doing the basic highlight.
They weren't pros like Connor, just throwing the joke in there.
What is a grill
willy-nilly.
drive? Yeah, no.
And I said, that's a little different.
Horrible.
Well, that's why I told them. I said, that's why I said I would. And the two of the kids I critiqued, I said, I would not want to do that highlight.
When in doubt, you just go, boom goes the dynamite.
That's the one that really gets people jobs.
Passes it to the man. And
by the way, did they ever track down where that guy ended up? Did he ever get a job?
No,
I'm not thinking he did.
I bet you he did. I bet
really?
you. I bet you he's in
because of that.
But I bet you he's in like Bozeman, Montana, talking about some high school football game.
And I had the heebie-jeebies the whole time, Pat.
Why?
It was at Villanova.
That's gross.
It was just had the heebie-jeebies. I park and I'm like,
it's nice.
People are watching me.
No. Seems like a nice school.
No thanks.
It does. It is a very nice school.
No,
it is a very nice school.
No,
I'm sure.
You don't think it's nice?
Yucky.
Just didn't really.
Yucky?
Yucky.
So I said yucky.
Wow.
I just had the heebie-jeebies the whole time.
Have you spent time there?
Yeah.
It is heebies.
Yeah, you guys sent me there one morning.
Heebie-jeebies. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. All right, we got a lot coming up for you in the final part of the show here. The Sixers, I want to ask you some questions about what the Sixers, how we're going to feel about them on Friday morning, a little bit in advance. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I love the fact that when I stepped on the scale Monday, I was 20 pounds down, devoting 9 weeks of my life to taking 20 pounds off. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Copair Health, COPAREhealth.com, which you can reach at 215-948-4648. And Copair Health wants to give you the experience with your first week free. Vance is my personal coach, and we do our calls every week, and we talk about things. I'm heading to Vegas this weekend. So I send Vance literally menus of the restaurants that I'm going to, and he picks the menu for me of what I should order. To try to help me, he's gotten me into this routine about eating. I've reintroduced a lot of foods that I took out for a few weeks, and I'm getting used to eating my portion sizes when I eat. And when I tell you that I'm eating more than I ate before, probably double a day, I'm eating more than I ate before. Doesn't make any sense to me, but you know what? It works because I'm learning from Copair. You have to learn, and you're going to feel better about yourself. 20 pounds down, 8 pounds to go to reach my goal, and I want to go further. So call Copair now, 215-948-4648. Ask for your first free week and tell them John Kincade sent you.
The John Kincade Show.
I am so excited, I can't stand it.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. The biggest party of the year for Philadelphia sports fans is back.
Oh, my God.
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
Put it on your calendar and make plans now to be there.
Let's just go. All of the Fanatic hosts celebrity guests, interactive activities, and attractions.
And lots of food and drinks.
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
The countdown is on. This is a free event, but you will need a ticket to attend.
Keep listening for ticket giveaways, ticket rate information, and more special announcements.
Must be 21 or older to attend.
97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2022. Be there.
Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano here with my childhood friend, Bob Marino, now president, Huntington Valley Bank. Bob's still on the board of directors at Spring Garden Lending. But, Bob, who's the new voice?
Yo, Ed, I have a superstar for you. Meet Spring Garden Lending's new president, Andy Racklin, a national leader in finance and economic development.
Andy, great to meet you.
Hey, man, happy to be here.
What's your game plan?
Look, it's to grow Spring Garden Lending. We're going to increase the number of markets we serve, we're going to increase the products we offer, and we're going to maintain the positive impact we have in our communities.
Now, I know you specialize in bridge loans to acquire, rehab, construct, and refinance properties to rent or flip.
Yep, and we have 30-year fixed-rate perm financing, too.
What attracted you to Spring Garden Lending?
Spring Garden Lending has a proven track record of supporting small developers who are often challenged with finding a square deal through traditional sources.
A leg up, huh?
Absolutely. Our borrowers are the backbones of their communities, and their success is our success.
Bob's a goat. Spot on, man. Handing the ball to Andy. He's a champ. Good hands at Spring Garden Lending.
It's Hoagie Fest. Today's the day. Follow your taste buds. They'll show you the way. Hoagie Fest is here. Na, 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 na.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Summer tastes better when it's full of Hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
Back by popular demand, Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up again to bring you frozen handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show.
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy frozen handcrafted beverages are back and 20% off when you order and pay on the Wawa app.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find, especially our totally low prices.
That rosé you recommended was a hit. What should we try for more fun in the sun this weekend?
This silver tequila makes a refreshing tequila sunrise.
Perfect. Wow, that price is refreshing too.
Love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. With the lowest prices in the tri-state area. Drink responsibly, B21.
New message.
Hey, girlfriend, it's Carol from jury duty. We never actually spoke, but I saw you ordered the same hoagie as me at lunch. What are the chances? Anywho, I heard you just got a boat. We should totally grab some hoagies and take it out for a spin.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Do I want to feel the wind in my hair? Guilty as charged. Oh, seriously, let's ride on your boat.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Peter.
I'm Emma.
And our deck is TimberTech.
I'm the practical one in the family.
And I'm the designer. We chose TimberTech because I wanted a great design.
And I wanted low maintenance.
We love our TimberTech deck because it looks just like real wood.
And it's easy to maintain. I don't have to worry about the kids running around.
TimberTech was really the best of both worlds for us.
Order your free samples at timbertech.com.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
For the first time in 25 years, the Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald, Pat Simmons, and John McPhee, 50th Anniversary Tour. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Doobie Brothers. This Thursday at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
High-efficiency equipment for lower bills, special financing, and rebates on qualifying systems.
What?
Oh, I'm trying to memorize something I heard on the radio. Peace of mind warranties.
Why?
Because our AC is on its last leg, and I need to convince you to call a Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning contractor.
No, you don't. I heard the same ad, and you forgot cleaner, healthier air.
Pierce Phelps Bryant will do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable. To find a local Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning dealer near you, visit nopaybryant.com.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey.
You know, my friends at Bet Parks, they are the Bet Parks app, and the Phillies are huge favorites today. You got to bet 141 to win 100 on the Phillies today. That's why I just bet the money line. Bet the money line. Connor guaranteed me a win. So there it is. You can bet on it today. Zach Wheeler is on the mound for the Phillies. He's your real ace, and you want to be getting on board with that Parks app. You can get a risk-free bet up to $750. So if you think today's the day, it'll be refunded in site credit should you lose. All you have to do is use the promo code Kincade to do so. Tonight in the Stanley Cup Finals, Tampa Bay a slight home favorite. You got to bet 108 to win 100. So you got to take care of business tonight. And it's going to see what happens in Game 4 of that series. Colorado up 2-1. You're going to love what the Parks app can give to you. And $750 in a risk-free bet is a great thing. Plus the odds, the bets, the slot games. It'll feel like you're in Vegas without being in Vegas. You're going to love it. Go to betparks.com, download the app. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
This group of people, when they put their minds together, they can do something great.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Do you love wings? Do you love wings?
I do, yes.
Boneless.
How about bacon?
All
No,
wings.
those are not wings.
Oh, God, Connor, why did you have to say it?
Chicken nuggets. How about bacon? We love bacon?
I mean, come on.
You're going to love P.J. Wellahan's new wing of the month, barbecued bacon. In fact, Bob Cooney created the flavor, which is why you're going to love it even more. Stop into your local PJ's to give them a try. In fact, PJ's, for the rest of the month, I hear, is going to take pages out of the daily news. So when you get your Bob Cooney wing,
you get a Bob Cooney story?
You get a Bob Cooney story from the past.
That'll ruin your appetite.
But it's everyone gets the Jarvis Varnado piece. Everybody.
You and Jarvis have to get together one of these days.
Wow.
One of these days we'll get him on.
Yeah. All right. Either if we can't get him, we'll get Henry Sims for you.
I would prefer Byron Mullins, but I'll accept him.
Okay. All right.
It's fine.
We'll get you somebody from the process. Yeah. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really
my favorite process.
Pat and the processors.
Okay, well, here's what I would say. Bob and I want to send you to FanFest. In fact, we each have a pair of tickets to give away. You can win Bob's tickets or my tickets. All you have to do is call 215-263-0975. 215-263-0975. Comes up Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 p.m. FanFest 2022 at Xfinity Live. Stay tuned for updates on special guests, events, and more. So 215-263-0975. First two callers are going to win themselves a pair of FanFest tickets. But you'll either be Bob's guest or my guest. So Bob's is the first guest. You won Bob's tickets.
You're in.
Special Bob VIP area, and then you get the special my VIP area.
I don't have a VIP area, but you can sure
I
just
think you
come
will
out
this year. You haven't heard? It's going to be now, it can't be the no beers with Bob section. Connor, that would suck, wouldn't it?
No, that'd be awful. No one would want to be there.
No beers with Bob section?
What?
Well, don't we at FanFest have to have a beers with Bob section?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you can hang out with Joel Embiid.
I mean, shouldn't we have that?
We have to be careful of this. Because last year, it was a little too many people saying, hey, beers with Bob, and open up beer and handing me a beer, which I loved and was very grateful for. But come 6 o'clock at night,
you were feeling it.
There was maybe a little too many beers with Bob.
I got too many free beers. That's what you sound like right now.
Is it that chair that I just want to come in there and punch whoever's sitting there sometimes?
No, you do. You do sound a little whiny right now that you're getting free beers and you couldn't handle your.
I didn't sound whiny at all. I sounded appreciative.
I mean,
he sounded appreciative.
I was listening to Connor was listening. We heard a tinge of like, oh, poor me.
No, it wasn't anything like that.
If you can't handle your liquor, it's fine. If you can't handle your alcohol, it's whatever.
I can't drink 30 beers a day like Connor.
I promise you, if we set up an Xfinity Live. If we set up one of the little sections is set up as a beers with Bob section where Bob just has a beer and just fields questions, that room will be packed. People want to go have a beer with Bob, and that way, Bob, you're on a stage, so you already have your beer.
Is he already planning things out for FanFest behind our backs?
I think he's been planning things out.
I love this.
Am I singing a song too?
Now you're not singing a song because you guys are all a bunch of wussies.
Yeah,
but,
okay. That's what people want. Hear us sing.
The Warriors were plus 1,200 to win the NBA title back in October. So if you put $100 down, you won $1,200. That's not bad. The previous year, the Bucks were plus 600. Put down 100, you won 600. The Lakers were heavy favorites in 2020. You almost won nothing. But the Raptors the year before were plus 1,850. Put down 100, win 1,850. Not bad. My point being, 3 of the last 4 NBA title winners were not exactly prohibitive favorites the year that they won. Sixers, by the way, right now, sort of sitting there like plus 2,000. Depending on what the Sixers do this week and beyond, do you believe they will have better title odds on Monday than they have today? If so, could there be any move coming where you believe the Sixers can jump the Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat, or the Nets, who all have better title odds than them right now? Is there anything that happens Daryl Morey's going to do between now and next Monday? We said it next Monday. So draft day, they pull a big trade tomorrow night. Something like that happens. Anything that right now could take them out of having the 5th best odds in the Eastern Conference to win the NBA title?
I don't foresee it, no. I do foresee that maybe something happens with Brooklyn and they fall behind the Sixers.
Where they already are struggling.
Exactly. They're already teetering there anyway. But I don't see anything between now and Monday that's going to propel the Sixers number to be better than it is now.
Yeah, go trade for Kevin Durant. You know, I mean, like, are they going to do it? No. Is it possible? Sure. It's possible. You know, there's a 1% chance that they'll trade for KD. Why not? There are things they can do. Are they going to happen? Probably not. No. I think that the moves that Daryl Morey is going to make or will make, I should say, are minor tweaks, and they're going to be important down the stretch. It's going to be like a Seth Curry trade. You know, Seth Curry was what? Josh Richardson in a second-round pick for Seth Curry? On the surface, you go, oh, that's a nice pickup, nice move, and he ends up being a very important piece. But I think you'll see more of those.
It'll take a while.
You'll see more of those than you will see the big splash. Oh my God! You know, let me get my chair on Broad Street.
Yeah, I just wonder about it because right now they're 5th best in the East, and I hear people still believe they can win a title next year. That team is a title contender.
Okay. As currently constructed,
some of the other numbers, Pat, absolutely make your point for you. Because it has happened. It's shown. Toronto won plus 1,850. You know, it's a team. It happens. Plus 800, plus 1,200 could do it. But I'm just wondering if they're gonna look better on Monday. If there's going to be anything that comes.
I don't think there's going to be significant difference Monday. Just a feeling. I don't think there's going to be. I sort of hope there is, but I don't think there's going to be. I don't think it's going to happen during this draft.
Does that change your impression about next year?
No, because you have a lot of time to do something.
Yeah.
You just don't have to do it on you don't have to do it come draft time. You know, you might set some things up with the draft that you address later, or you might draft someone for another team that you might not announce on draft night that maybe gets done later. I don't think come Monday that we're going to have a significant difference in this team.
That
doesn't sound great, I know, and I apologize.
It's disappointing to me, though.
I'll leave now.
I mean, we knew this coming in, though. They're kind of hamstrung by where they're at with the roster and the guys they already owe money to and the pieces that are movable. Like, we kind of saw this heading into the offseason. Maybe they can work some magic, but I'm much more excited for free agency and seeing if they get some nice older players on like a veteran minimum than I am for the draft and what they could do trade-wise.
I want to believe that something's going to happen to move the needle to make me change my opinion because I do not believe this team. Well, there's nothing like right now. You tell me this team's coming back. I don't think they're advancing past the second round.
If you get Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, who were the two names
get both.
that were bandied about, yeah. If you get both of those guys,
what did I lose to afford them?
No idea. Just cash, straight cash on me. I don't know. But if you get those two guys and all you gave, let's hypothetically say Matisse is gone, because if you get PJ Tucker, he's older Matisse. Okay, so Matisse is gone, second round picks, the 23rd pick, whatever. But if you get those two guys in, is it going to boost your odds all that much? No. Do I feel better as a Sixers fan going into next season? Absolutely, because currently constructed, this team probably should be 5th.
I think they can jump Brooklyn, though, as Bob says. There is something, so their odds would be potentially better.
Yeah, I mean, the bench needs to be built up, but getting bench pieces is not sexy. It's not a move that Vegas is going to go, oh my God, we got to bump these guys up from 5th to 2nd. But we all know the limitations that this team has, and I think the reason they're 5th is because they have 4 guys.
Did Milwaukee get Drew Holiday on a draft night?
That was in the middle of the season, wasn't it?
It was a middle of the season move. Was it like a December move?
I thought it was
like a December or I don't know when the deal went down.
Yeah, I thought it was the middle of the season thing. Yeah,
because I'm just looking at because sometimes moves go down and you say, "Wow, that's like that move caught me off guard." That there could be something like that.
Yeah, the East is going to be interesting because
November 24th it happened.
Okay,
2020 before the season, the pandemic
before the trade deadline.
So it was before the pandemic year. It was before the season got started.
Oh, okay.
Because of the pandemic.
Right, because was that a Christmas time?
They were
delaying.
Yeah, they were delaying.
The interesting thing about the East is, all right, so Boston makes the big run this year, probably exceeds their expectations and many around the league's expectations of them. I don't think many had Boston going to the NBA Finals this year. Do they come back and have an even better year? Do they get over that hump next year? The way the team's constructed, I lean towards no. I don't think that's like dynasty, and I don't mean dynasty and winning champions. I don't think that's sustainable what they did this year, that they're going to be a finals contender every year. The team to me, Brooklyn, I think is on the downslide. Miami, I think they're going to look to do things. I don't think they're going to be it this year. Milwaukee is the team okay, you got over the 1-year hangover of winning a championship. You're going to be dying to get back there. They know what it takes. They know what to do. I think they're my leading team in the East. And then I kind of look at it because of what I just said as kind of wide open after that. So, again, the Sixers need to take advantage of it. How they're going to go about it, we'll see.
Yeah. They have a tough road ahead of them, but it's fixable. That's why I'm confident.
You do believe it's fixable?
Yeah, I think it's fixable. I mean, I've seen this guy work his way out of tough situations in the past, so I believe he can do it again. I just think it's a matter of identifying guys that Doc wants.
So you're not talking young guys; you're talking veterans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to be flippant.
But I'm talking
vets. To go with veterans.
Yeah, he clearly for whatever reason, he clearly doesn't want a lot of young talent. He's hesitant to throw them on the court for whatever reason. So, but I think this team does need a vet. I mean, they need a PJ Tucker. We've talked about it. They need the adult in the room that's going to call guys out, but they also need the scoring touch of Eric Gordon. They need a lot, but it is fixable.
I get nervous if you look into the future. All right, let's go past now. Let's go midway, 3/4 of the way through next year. Are we sitting here lamenting the fact that they went out and got a 37 and 33-year-old to think, oh, that was going to put them over the top? To me, it just says, God, you have no confidence in your scouting department of finding the Pools or another Tyrese Maxey or the Baines, guys like that could just help contribute almost right away.
They don't. Or does the front office say, the sand's running out of the hourglass on Joel Embiid, and we just had a healthy season from him, which we never get. And then it crapped out in the playoffs. He was unhealthy.
Here lieth the problem, right?
So they're up against it going, why am I building for the future when our biggest piece that's the only reason we're going to have a chance to win a title might not be able to be healthy again? He might not be healthy in 3 years.
Yeah.
May not be healthy in 4 years.
And that's kind of why you have to take the shot now.
Yeah,
and with the PJ Tucker stuff, what I wonder is we've seen Daryl Morey's relationships benefit the Sixers in a big way. Dwight Howard is the one example, like the big one where you go, okay, Dwight Howard was not veteran minimum bad. He was still a very productive player, but because of the fact he had a positive relationship with Daryl Morey convinced him to come here. I wonder because of that, Daryl Morey has a relationship with P.J. Tucker. Is he able to convince P.J. Tucker? P.J. Tucker's not coming here for $7.5 million, but is he able to convince him to come here for not that 3 for $30 deal that you're talking about, for maybe a 2-year deal, or even a 1-year deal? Because I think everybody would sign up for a 1-year, $10 million deal with P.J. Tucker.
1 and 10?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not everybody.
No, but I don't think you're out of line. That's going to be the neighbor. I mean, that's a neighborhood you're in.
A P.J. Tucker with the team that they had at the end of last year, a Danny Green, all that, or even with Ben Simmons before. A P.J. Tucker, yeah. An extra piece, yeah. But you need more than extra piece. You need, like, real pieces and then a P.J. Tucker. So that's, I think, why I'm leaning towards, I understand the P.J. Tucker talk, but I need more than that. I need more than a role piece player before I get the role piece player, I guess.
If it's just P.J. Tucker, then it's like, wow, this sucks.
Okay, yeah. That's where I wanted to get you to.
And I'm banking on them getting maybe P.J. Tucker, but more of that scoring off the bench. Like, that to me is the most important part. P.J. Tucker's a luxury because they need it in the locker room. It's pretty clear. I think Danny Green tried to be that veteran, but he doesn't have – I don't get the sense he has the attitude to call guys out on the carpet. P.J. Tucker does. But the most important thing is, like, they need that sixth man. Doc's always had that sixth man. He hasn't had it in Philadelphia. You thought it could be Shake. Wasn't Shake. It was supposed to be Tyrese Maxey, but then the baby sat out the entire year. So, they need that guy that they can count on for 20, 25 minutes a game to come in and just be a scoring touch.
Should he, by the way, did you see the big baby yesterday?
I did on the
social
boat.
media. Deep sea fishing. Okay? So he's out there deep sea fishing.
I was thinking of Glenn Davis. Davis, yeah.
Did you see him?
Glenn Davis has played more basketball than Ben Simmons
recently.
Yeah.
He referenced the big baby, and he was out there deep sea fishing yesterday because he's on vacation.
Yeah, I cracked up at that.
I laugh at that, too.
By the way, there was about 400 quote tweets and 30 retweets. So that tweet is getting roasted.
But the idea being, is that something you deep sea fishing if you got a bum shoulder?
It's good for your back.
And your back. Yeah, your back's
really
messed up.
No, it's terrible.
Oh.
He overcompensated with his shoulder. I'm reading the Nets yesterday. They're going the lower back was stiff, and then his shoulder was tight because he's compensating with the back. You're deep sea fishing?
That's how Markelle Fultz fixed his shoulder down in Orlando. They just put him on a boat, deep sea fishing.
In Orlando, they were deep sea fishing?
Orlando, but down in Florida.
Where would that have happened?
Yeah, he had to take a little bit of a car
SeaWorld?
ride. He took the team helicopter. I don't know.
Seriously.
They don't have deep sea fishing at Disney?
I don't know. And one of the things somebody said was...
There's no deep sea in Orlando.
Where's Nemo then?
He's
checkmate.
You haven't found
Orlando's
him.
middle of the state, dude.
There's no deep sea in Orlando.
Come on,
they could build one.
Can't build one.
But he's fishing right-handed. Somebody pointed out to me.
Oh yeah. What does that have to do with your back? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. That guy. Was it Brooklyn who put it out? Who put out the tweet? I thought it was a Nets, like a Nets tweet that said, "Oh, our man out fishing" or something like that. Our man.
Can you be their man without playing?
Look, I could be totally wrong. Yeah, but I thought it was the Nets who put it out because that's what caught my eye.
I thought it was his PR.
Oh, maybe it was. Okay.
Like something just trying to give him some positive PR.
Really? Who is not reading the room in this guy's corner?
Yeah, but he posed for it. He loved it.
But I mean, do you not get the way the people are now looking at him, and you're going to put a picture of him deep sea fishing after what he pulled this year? If anything, I'm saying, Ben Simmons, if anybody tries to take your picture, turn around. Go away. Be silent.
He may be the most vapid athlete out there. Just completely no self-awareness, completely misunderstanding how he's perceived.
Yeah.
And I know he's probably looking at the followers' numbers, because he's obsessed with it. He's probably looking, going, well, look at all these people that follow me. They want to know what I'm doing. They think I'm cool. He doesn't realize people are watching him to mock him.
How does he not have people around him to say, hey, look, here's your best idea, man. Lay low this summer.
Steer clear.
Get yourself in shape. Do what you have to do, but try to stay away from cameras. Don't pick your phone up and take a picture of yourself. Just get back into the good graces of whoever you can.
Is there any chance you believe next summer we could be talking about, man, Ben Simmons, I didn't see that coming? He has the big rebound season. He just comes back and he rebounds from all his nonsense. And he's like challenging to be an all-star. He's playing great basketball. We all go, wow, never saw that coming. Because I don't believe it is happening.
Yeah, I'd bet against it because I firmly believe what I said at the beginning. I don't know if this guy likes playing basketball. And if you don't like doing something, it's going to come out. I mean, it's just going to keep coming out and keep coming out, and I don't think that this guy likes playing basketball.
I think Andrew Bynum had the same thing. I think Andrew Bynum was really good at basketball. Don't get the feeling he loved basketball.
Well, Andrew Bynum didn't like working at it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of it,
yeah,
right?
I mean, it is.
You look at some of the guys, the best players in the league, they're always working at it. And I think it's a combination of Ben Simmons got burnt out. And
burned out.
He isn't in love with the game. I think he likes basketball.
He's 20, what? 24?
6 now?
No,
I
26?
Yeah,
but I can understand. I can understand it. Yeah, he's been the golden child, #1 pick, be all end all since he came out the womb. So, I understand it in a way. But I think he's in the rare situation of like he literally has made so much money he can do whatever he wants with it. And unlike a lot of athletes and a lot of people out there, he went, all right.
I'm done with it.
I don't really need this. I can go and fish.
I heard Anthony say yesterday that future of sports, future of things that Netflix is doing, that documentary series, and they're like 20-minute documentaries, and they were released yesterday. And it's the future of skyscrapers, the future of dogs, the future.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And but they're like 20 minutes, and they're out there. A bunch of them were released yesterday, and Anthony was saying. They were talking about the future, and him and Chunas were saying, I could see the future of football being guys get their rookie contract, guys sign the second big money contract, and then they're done.
They're already kind of doing it, right?
And guys, well,
no, I mean, they're retiring way earlier than we ever expected because it's like, well, the head issues, right?
And I don't blame one of them.
Yeah, they'll be like 29, and they're like, you know what, I'm done.
I don't blame one of them for doing it. Hey, we're going to have a great time tomorrow. We hope you'll be here for it. It is draft day for the Sixers and more. Phillies closing out their series in Texas. I want to remind you to support life-saving cancer research. Join us and our generous partner, All Seasons Comfort Control. Make a donation today, if you would, to the American Association for Cancer Research. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives. Great job by the entire team. D-Train, it's always good when D-Train shows up, and Chevy loves it when he's here. Good job, Connor, and the whole gang. Have a great day, everybody.
The John Kincade Show.
They're like the family from hell on acid that's on steroids.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Hey, are you tired of dealing with your old drafty windows and doors? Well, it's time you go Guida. Yes, my good friends at Guida Door and Window. They're going to help make your window and door replacement project more affordable.